Man's cutting the line, bro.
Thank you, shit. Man's just trying to do whatever, bro.
Right, we're good.
Live running, yeah? Yeah. Man, hey, Shalom, Akim, Shalom. First of all, we give all praise and all glory to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai, Hashem, HaKodash. We want to give the bonus to the elders, oldest apostles of GMS. And Shalom out there to the hopeful led Christian Troop North Society, man. You know, freshly in.
Right.
2022.
So-called
Esau's
2022,
calendar.
man, according to the
Edomite calendar.
yeah, this world, man, which is not even the correct timings, because the new year, according to the world, is a pagan version.
Yeah.
All right, because they go according to the winter solstice, because they worship the sun.
Yep. The New Year's actually meant to come around at the beginning of spring.
In the beginning of that year, what's that? So we could start on that. That's in Exodus, right?
Yeah, because just a couple of weeks before the Passover, you know, that's the beginning of the year, the first of the years, first of the days of the years, you know.
Let's see. I'm sure it's in Exodus where the Lord outlined it in the beginning of the.
Pretty sure it says first day of the year.
There we go.
Yeah. Yeah,
cool.
sure.
So book of Daniel 7:25, and he shall speak great words against the Most High, and he shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws, and they shall be given unto it into his hand, until a time and times and the dividing of times.
Yeah, so Esau, like, since he's been in power, man, he done mess up all the time, seasons and all that kind of stuff. Brought in calendars, revised calendars, you know, changed the days in the year, the months of the year. You right? Yeah, actually, yeah, Exodus 12 too.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
of course.
You know, so Esau's changed everything up, man, and it's put time out of balance, out of line. You know, going on what the Gregorian calendar we've got.
Yeah.
You know, that's what we're currently running, but that was changed from what kind of before that? The
Julian.
yeah, that was it. The Julian calendar.
Which all nations originally went by the correct calendar, because even when, like, the further you go back, you will find that a lot of their calendars had, like, what's it called, similarities. Like if you go back to the Babylonian calendars, certain calendars they went by the moon, and then certain calendars started to go by the sun. You know what I'm saying? So ultimately, because when you go back to Noah, remember that all nations that are on earth today came out of Noah. So at one time all peoples had, you know, the same way,
yeah.
but then they perverted the way. But the Hebrews, we kept the proper way of doing things. Yeah, that's why you get these goofy Afrocentric dons shouting out about Sumer, and Sumer's not even in Africa, but let's not even go there. They start talking about, oh yeah, the Bible stole this and that from these other. No, it's that you might find similarities between certain things that the Hebrews did and certain things that the other nations did back then, because all nations ultimately at one time were you know, dwelling together, because you had Noah, Ham, Shem and Japheth. But the proper calendar goes according to the moon. The word month comes from the word moon. So each new moon is a new month.
Because I was gonna say, man, because you know, these other nations, because we all, like brothers mentioned, we all come from the three sons of Noah, right? And we all come up. Noah brought us all up, or brought them all up. So they all understood certain things the same. And it wasn't until later when perversions came in, because the Lord started dividing them, you know, as people. And they started worshipping things like the sun and the moon and the animals and all this kind of stuff there, and started worshipping them and basing things around them.
Start making up their own dubs.
You know, so this is where perversion comes in, and to why you get different calendars and, you know, all different types of things.
And different customs.
That's right.
You know?
Yep. Did you want to
Exodus, yeah.
It's Exodus chapter 12, verse 2. I want to start from verse 1, right? And the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, saying, This month shall be unto you the beginning of months.
Right, what does it mean by the beginning of months? A year is made of months, right? So the beginning of months is the first month of the year. That's the new year. So our new year begins with the Passover, which is in the spring. Read on.
Yep. It says, and it shall be the first month of the year to you. Speak ye unto all the congregation of Israel, saying, in the 10th day of this month they shall take to them every man a lamb according to the house of their fathers, a lamb for an house. And if the household be too little for the lamb, let him and his neighbor next unto his house take it according to the number of the souls. Every man according to his eating shall make your count for the lamb.
So when you really break it down, we came out of Egypt at the end of a year and the beginning of a new year, right? But that's our calendar, that's the Hebrew calendar, which is the right calendar, because in the kingdom of heaven, that's how it's gonna be. Like right now, everybody goes by Esau's calendar. Even you got Moab got their own goofy calendar, you know, the year of the pig and all this business. So they got the so-called Chinese New Year. But when they do business and ultimately in the world, everybody goes by Esau Edom's calendar. And ain't nobody else going by China's calendar. Even the Chinese have to respect January. You know what I'm saying? They have to respect Esau's calendar. And then the calendar is filled with what? Paganry. Because the months, a lot of the months, we went into it last week actually, about how certain months are named after idols.
So deities, yeah.
And then even when you go into the naming of the days, if you notice in the scriptures, we speak about the first month and we speak about the number of the day, right? When you go into the
it wasn't until the season even we started naming.
Yeah, the Babylonians
and all of that. Yeah.
Right. So here today we name the days after names, but when you break it down, Monday is Moon Day. You know, Tuesday is some other god, I can't remember the hell the name is. Wednesday is Odin.
Yeah.
Odin. Thursday is for Thor. Friday is Fratia or whatever, which is one of them riotous gods, man, which is why Friday night is known as party night. Yeah, then you got Saturday night, which is Saturn. And then Sunday is a sun worship day. So this whole world is this whole age, I should say, this whole world, this whole age is about wickedness and perversion and corruption, man. And that's compounded to the fact that last night these people were celebrating a new year and it's not even a new year.
Yep.
You know?
And I was gonna say, you know, that's these months as well. You had Caesars bringing their months and stuff, Augustus, August. You know, they were just throwing a random month in a random place. Because if you think about it, October is meant to represent 8. Yeah. Technically, it's meant to be the 8th month of the year, but here it's 10th. They just be throwing in different months and names, or you know, whatever. December the 10th, but here December the 12th now.
Yep.
You know, things like that. So Esau just messed with the whole thing.
Yeah,
man.
the whole timeline's messed up, but that's all right. The whole timeline's gonna get a reset in the year of our Lord, because it ain't gonna be 2022. It's gonna be, huh?
Oh no, I was gonna say,
it's gonna be 1. It's gonna be the year of our Lord 1, and that's a beautiful thing. That's what we're waiting for. All these perversions and all these things that are erroneous and that ain't right, everything's gonna be put back in order once the Lord comes and establishes His kingdom, and then everything is gonna be correct. You know?
Yep. This is from Sirach chapter 43, verse 5. It says, great is the Lord that made it, and that His commandment runneth hastily. He made the moon also to serve in her season, for a declaration of times and a sign of the world.
Right, because when you go into the high holy days are observed first and foremost based upon the moon, because the moon tells you the month. The moon dictates the month. So, like for instance, you have
that's why it has a cycle.
What's it? Is it the which one is the 7th month again? Is it the memorial?
Oh, the trumpets.
Is that the 7th?
I'll have to count it physically.
Yeah. Because that's like a super Sabbath, right?
No, that's right, yeah.
Is that the one that's a super Sabbath, right? Like when you go into Leviticus, the 23rd chapter, the high holy days are all reckoned according to the first moon or the second moon or the third moon, and then it goes on to the day. So the months and the years are detailed based upon the moon. Right, and then the day itself is based upon the sun in terms of what you may call a so-called 24-hour day, because the day ends and begins in the evening with the sun setting. You know, the evening and the morning with the first day.
Yep.
Now that's just how the Hebrews do it. Now in this world they do it different. You know, they got 12 o'clock midnight, which that all goes into another witchcraft. They got different hours at 12 o'clock, and they got 3 o'clock, I believe, as well. 3 a.m. That's another witching hour. You know, basically when you break it down, a lot of the things that we follow in this world are based upon the sciences, the evil, wicked, demonic sciences on the left hand side, man. But that's how this world has been.
Yep. This is verse 7 says, from the moon is the sign of feast, a light that decreaseth in her perfection. So it's a thing that you can observe that has stages, so you can tell. You know, it's different from the sun. The sun doesn't wax or wane, it just moves, you know. So they told you that at the beginning and the end of the day, but the moon will tell you where you are in the month, you know, based on, you know, how full it is, you know, or if there is none. You know, if there's a new moon, you can't see it, you know.
That's right.
Says, from the moon is the sign of feast, a light that decreases in her perfection, right? Because it waxes and wanes, right? The month is called after her name.
There you go.
So that's where we get it from, right? Increasing wonderfully in her changing, being an instrument of the armies above, shining in the firmament of heaven. Yeah, that's it. Pretty much,
Yeah. And there's another one, I believe, about the sun moving in its
circuits.
course.
Okay.
Yeah. That's in I think it's First Esdras. First Esdras. Yeah.
Yeah,
The
right.
book of Genesis 1:14. And the Most High said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven.
Now you get some goofy dons. You get listen, man. That's why the scriptures say they being ignorant that by the word of the Heavenly Father, the world that is. You know. Listen, they get this goofy. Well, if the light comes from the sun and the moon, then how was their time and how was their days? And
Beforehand.
it's a sign, you goofy don. It's a sign. Yeah, I could put a sign saying this house is that way. That don't mean that if the sign ain't there, the house don't exist.
Yeah.
How goofy can you be?
The Lord made light prior to the sun.
The light already existed.
Yeah.
The angels can produce light. the chariots can produce light.
Lights, yeah.
Because the scripture tells you that the chariot in the wilderness was a pillar of fire by night, flame of fire by night, and a cloud by day. So they could produce light. Oh yeah, but how did the plants grow before the sun and the moon? I just told you.
Hey, there's lights in the deepest depths of the ocean. So you got them luminous, you know, fish that down there, man. You know, but it's dark down there.
You can have you're telling me the Lord couldn't have a chariot be a source of light?
Well,
He
any type of
can
light,
do whatever
yeah.
you want to do, man. It's the Most High. Why are you trying to question
He
it?
said, let there be light. So that was it.
These dudes,
You know?
these dudes don't, you know, they're always trying to come up with a way to try and
Yeah.
rationalize things that ultimately we can't rationalize.
The sun is not the source of all light. You know, the
It's
stars
just
are not
a
the
light
source of,
source.
yeah, just a light source, not the source of all light. All these stars are not the source of light. You know?
Yeah, but how is the Sabbath on the 7th? Goofy dons. Anyway, go on, man. Oh boy.
And Most
But see,
High,
all that confusion is going to be done away with when the Lord comes and the kingdom of heaven is established, because a lot of this world is about confusion, because there's a lot of misinformation and vain opinions, and that's what this world is all about. You know, doubt. With the, I can tell you this for free, there ain't going to be no doubt when the Lord comes back. And whatever the Spirit of the Lord says is true is going to be established as truth. Unlike in this kingdom, you always got these scoffers and scorners with their goofy ideas, thinking that they can understand creation. First of all, there's a certain level that we could get, and there's a certain level we ain't gonna get. Man trying to get super deep. You can't get that deep because you're talking about something that is beyond your brain capacity. You struggling to use an application on your phone. You got some goofy don struggling to do a spreadsheet.
Man, struggle with diets, bro. You know what I mean? Like every year they struggle with diets, but they want to understand.
They don't understand everything. Nah, just take it as what it is in the scriptures, man. Goodness gracious, man.
You know, it'd be like trying to explain to an ant.
Man can't do a man can't finish his crossword from the Sun newspaper and wants to come on, man. God,
Overreaching.
sometimes you gotta go to the scriptures teach you not out things which are too hard for thee, man. Goodness gracious. We ain't gonna have all the answers. You know what I mean? We're on a low level. Is he here? Okay. Go on.
and Most High said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heavens to divide the day from the night.
Right.
And let them be for signs
For what?
Science.
For science. So even down to the course of the world, there are certain science that you can get from the heavens. Yeah, but see, on the left hand side, they think they got all that knowledge and they can break it down, but they can't. Because I'll tell you this for free, because really it's the Lord's knowledge. Now there were certain tribes that were blessed with the right interpretation, because you got to interpret.
Yep.
That correct interpretation of the heavens, that's the Lord's to give. Now a lot of these goofy heathens, they thought they could break it down. Well, how come them man didn't break down that they were gonna go down? That's what I want to know. Yeah. Nah, it's the Lord. So yeah, ultimately it's the Lord that has set the different celestial bodies in motion. Right? But that's why we don't go deep into that, because it ain't given unto us to know the ins and outs and understand everything about that. But these goofy heathens think they got that, like the monthly prognosticators and
this is it, man. All the palm readers and
Mystic Meg.
Yeah, the astrologers, the stargazers.
They might get hit by a train and
because at the end of the day, like I said, it's the Lord's, right? But who's breaking it down to Esau and the rest of these heathens? Satan. So Satan's not giving them all the truth.
Yeah, deceiving, man.
Yeah.
Them seducing spirits, man. Yeah. Have you walking into a train and that. Anyway.
And for seasons.
And for seasons, because the seasons are dictated by the sun and the moon, mainly the sun. And that's why these goofy heathens worship the sun. Because what it is that they observe that the sun does have a major effect on the earth.
Yep.
A major effect. Like for instance, it could be cold all night. Then the sun come up in the morning and all of a sudden you get that warmth. That don't make it God. Yeah, that don't mean you start bowing down and worshiping the sun, because it's the Lord that made it that way for the sun to provide that. Put
it there.
And then you got the diversities of the seasons is also controlled by the sun. So winter is there's less
sun's furthest away,
and so forth. Then we go into it sometimes, the solar minimums and all that, where the Lord can turn up the heat on the sun or turn it down, and that actually affects the weather patterns. Because even if you talk to a meteorologist say that the number one effect, the thing that has the number one effect on weather or climate is the sun's activity. But that don't mean, I mean you brought that out last week, that don't mean that you start bowing down and worshipping the sun. Yeah. Yes, the moon does cause tides and does have an effect on the earth, even on the people of the earth.
Yeah.
But that doesn't make it God. Because who created the sun? Who created the moon? Who's controlling those operations? Is it not written that the Lord himself, that the sun stood still in his habitation? Let's get that. Can we get that? Can we get that?
Yeah, I'm just gonna grab something else.
Yeah, get up something else and we get that, man.
Yeah.
But you worshiping the sun. The Lord told the sun, stand this up. Yeah? Don't move. You gotta score for, oh, it's impossible. But you don't understand. The Lord, the Heavenly Father, the only rule the Heavenly Father has is himself. Yeah. You got rules. Like, you can't jump off a building because you get squished. Most High ain't got no rules, man. That's why there's such a thing called spiritual power. The Heavenly Father, this is his construct. He set the rule and break the rules. You know what I'm saying? That's it, make law and break law.
Yeah. So, like, what was that one you called for?
You know where it says the sun stood still? Yeah. That was during the time of Joshua, I believe. Is it Joshua?
Yeah.
They were chasing down them Hamites, man. Hey, what did my man say from Third World Cup? We run things no run we. There's a bad man film. That's the Most High. The Most High run things. You have to operate based upon the rules of this universe. The Heavenly Father don't need to. So if you want to bring a man back from the dead, he could do that. You can't do that because, well, try it.
Yeah, you got the capabilities, man.
You'd be like, but the physics and that's your problem.
How did you do it? You must find a way. Nah, it's not accessible, man. You can't access that power.
That's your problem, isn't it?
No infinity stone to reverse time and none of that shit. Right. This is from Joshua chapter 10 verse 13. And the sun stood still and the moon stayed until the people had avenged themselves upon their enemies. Showing you both of them are moving in like a clock. You know, like when you got a clock and you got the right hand and the left hand, and the man that creates the clock is a very, very particular profession, a clockmaker or a watchmaker. That's why them Swiss dons,
get paid so much money to, you know, forget the icy thing, because that's you Negroes. You destroy the watch and put bare ice on it and devalue it. The value of the watch is in the making of the watch. It's the skill, because not anyone can just put a watch together, because all of, you know, the mechanism to keep the time, to keep it moving in sync,
synchronicity
and all that. That takes a lot of wisdom of the watchmaker, right? And that's what you're paying for when you're getting one of them top crazy watches, man. It's not going to be like your cheap watch, because of the mechanism, and everything has to move right. So it's the same thing with the sun and the moon. They actually move in particular course. They're not just moving around randomly. It's a course that the Lord set for them. From then until now, it's always moved according to his correct course that the Lord has set, right? So when the Lord stopped the sun, naturally, he stopped the moon. He stopped the whole thing in motion. Now, does that mean, because for them goofy dons, does that mean that it stopped time? No, it didn't stop time.
No, because they man has to get slaughtered.
Yeah, it's a sign of the time. It don't mean time to stop, you know. But that shows you the power of the Lord. The Lord actually held still the sun. Go on, read that again.
Read it again.
Yeah.
Joshua 10:13, and the sun stood still and the moon stayed until the people had avenged themselves upon their enemies. Is not this written in the book of Jasher? So the sun stood still in the midst of heavens and hasted not to go down about a whole day.
Right, so that's a whole day, man.
Yeah.
The Lord just held the sun while we was whooping up them heathens, man. And that's the power of the Lord. So why are you worshiping the sun like them goofy Egyptians? Because basically, when you break it down, that's why them goofy polite and them dudes, well, you know, well, it's not actually God's, but it's like natural. Man, shut up, man.
Natural.
Like
you have to define what natural is.
So basically, what they're saying
You know?
is they saw natural events happening in the world, and then, like the scriptures say, then they start attributing those things to be powers.
How did they come into the world, though?
Well,
that's the question,
point.
you know.
You know?
You're talking about natural, but we've got to define what natural is. Natural is what the Most High created. You know, what was created in the system that he created. This is what's natural, you know. And this is what people don't respect. They don't respect the creator behind these things, man.
Like sex, they worship sex, right? The act of sex. So they worship the vagina, the womb, and they also worship the penis, which is why those are two major forms of worship, symbologies, the male and the female symbology throughout all this paganry. So you got the obelix, you know, and then, well, even we just had this Christmas demonic madness, right?
Oh, Nimrod's tree.
Well, you got the
reef.
The reef,
Yeah.
the reef represents the vagina, and then you got the tree, which represents the penis, right? So it's the work. Because why? They think that life is actually coming forth from the penis and the vagina, but that's not the source of life. But that's how these goofy heathens broke it down, and you still got our people running with that today. That's why they're saying the black woman is God, or the black man is God because he's got a penis. No, the Most High is God. He created a way in which we proliferate the flesh, and then a spirit from the Most High comes down and inhabits that flesh.
Hey, because the Most High can make you barren, man.
Close up the womb.
You know, make the seed to fail. He could do all of that.
And who puts the spirit in the body? That's what I want to know. Why have you got a spirit in your body? Your consciousnesses. Who put that in the body? Like, who created that? Because the vagina and the penis don't create that. Or maybe they believe that, but that they're just being goofy. You know? But that's what the world is gonna look back at this time as a very ignorant and dark period. People were worshipping rods and vaginas.
Yeah. Sorry to overhear your conversation. Are you like Jewish Israelites?
No, we're Israelites.
Oh, no, sorry, I got that wrong. We're not Jewish Israelites. Yeah, no, I'm just listening to what you're saying.
Yeah.
Are you doing a video?
Yeah.
Oh,
Alright, no worries, man.
That's right here.
Yeah, go on, let's get that.
Wisdom of Solomon chapter 13 verse 1. It says, surely vain are all men by nature who are ignorant of the Most High, and could not
That's what I want to get.
and could not out of good things could not out of the good things that are seen know him that is.
Right, the scenes that are seen, because there are many marvelous events and marvelous activities. The sun is marvelous. What it does.
All life.
If you study, you're like, wow, this is amazing. You can study the animals. You can. I used to like, wow, this is great. This is. You know.
You can do that about anything of the creation, man. You
Right.
sit there and be amazed by it.
But then to turn around and then put a name on it and then start idolizing it and then thinking, oh, so it's the sun that's giving me my
This
crops.
is the source.
Yeah, the sun's the one
source.
giving me all this. Or nah, it's not.
It grow
you
my
know?
crops, you know, it water my house and all this kind of stuff. No, it ain't that.
It darken my skin. Oh, actually, Esau. Oops.
Oh.
Burn my skin.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Says neither. Says no sun cream back then, bro. Right. Says neither by considering the works did they acknowledge the workmaster, right? Which is the Most High. They didn't acknowledge him. Like who put that there? Who planted that tree? You know what I'm saying?
By whose wisdom?
Yeah. And that's why Genesis is written so you know the beginnings, right? The beginnings is for you to know how everything came to be, right? And that Esau want to, you want to change the whole script. He want to tell you that, oh yeah, everything, evolved and did this and did that, randomness, chaos, and nah, you don't know shit. He don't know shit. Okay, and people are gonna find out real soon, man. He never knew anything. He's a fool.
The eternal fool.
Oh yeah.
He's gonna be immortalized as the fool. Throughout, that's his name. That's why the scripture says the seed of the wicked shall never be renowned. Because Esau really wants to be that guy, man. That's why they put Darwin on the, they build the statues for these guys, and they try and these are great men. When you go to school, yeah, like Charles Darwin and
the father of this and
these guys are just great. They renowned. They're the pioneers. Listen, them man are gonna be a bunch of pussies, man. The people are gonna be looking at them like, that man didn't know nothing, man.
Mm-hmm.
Them man don't even know, not even what my toenail knows. At no level.
Because they couldn't even know the Most High. Guys like my man in the wheelchair, or not in the wheelchair
Parkins and them guys. Einstein. That's another guy, a Kabbalist. He's a Kabbalist. He was nothing but an alchemist, man. And they that's why they push. The name Einstein is actually renowned for intellect.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's a regular Einstein. Einstein was a fool. Even Nikola Tesla was like, this guy just scribbling on the board, man. He ain't doing nothing. He's a fraud. And that's what Esau is. Ultimately, he's a fraud, man. Anyway, we don't want to get down on Esau too much today. Yet. Good.
Verse 2 says, but deemed either fire or wind or the swift air or the circle of the stars, the different configurations, right? Or the violent water, or the lux is powerful, right?
Yeah,
Water's
the power, the raging power of the sea.
Yep.
Yeah. The tidal wave and that when start worshiping.
And I can't contend with that because they're weak. Because there's something men respect power, so they gravitate to these things, man. It says, or the lights of heaven to be the gods which govern the world.
Right. They think that's They think that's what's governing the world. Right? But it's not. It's ultimately the Most High the Most High that governs all these things. All right. Okay. You might as well jump onto that.
You come into the car park.
Yeah, because he's not.
No, you drive.
It's the book of Job 38. I'm starting from the top. Then the Lord answered Job out of the
Is he
wilderness.
following the link I gave him?
This is the book of Job 38. I'm starting from the top. Then the Lord answered Job out of the whirlwind and said, who is this that darkeneth counsel by words without knowledge? Get up now thy loins like a man, for I will demand of thee and answer thou me. Where wast thou when I laid the foundation of the earth? Declare if thou hast understanding. Who has laid the measures thereof, if thou knowest, or who has stretched the line upon it? Whereupon are the foundations?
Yeah, I gave him the
He's on
link.
the other side.
Right, I gave him the link for the car park. Did I give him the wrong car park name?
I gave him the same. Well, I gave him one as well, innit? He's end up on the other side as well. No, I ain't, man.
Yeah, go on.
Whereupon are the foundations thereof trusted, or who laid the cornerstone thereof? When the morning stars sang together, and all the sons of Most High shouted for joy, or who shut up the sea with doors when it break forth, as if it had issue, out of the womb.
Right, the Lord is the one that ordered this universe where everything makes sense and is orderly. Because everything in this place operates within a particular order. That's how you live. Imagine if this place wasn't in order, how can you live or operate? You know what I'm saying? We live in a world that's governed by, they call it the laws of nature, or the side road.
Yeah, because people took me down there.
Was it one I sent you?
Yeah.
No, but I sent him to the car park. Anyway, no, I will investigate that later. But anyway, yeah, like we live in a world where I know that, like, if I want to throw this brother some keys, I understand the trajectory, because you know there's certain rules to that. Yeah. There's certain rules. Now, what if one time the key go flying up, or the next time it go, everything happens randomly? You can't live in a world like that. You be watching, one time you step and your foot goes through the, everything has to happen in an orderly manner. That's how the world works.
And you know, it's funny because them guys talk about, oh, we're living in a simulation, right? Well, in a way, yeah. The Most High coded everything, man. Well, you know those shit games, man. They're not coded properly. You get stuck in the wall somewhere.
Yeah, if you design a system, it has to have set rules. Yep. If it doesn't have set rules, what do you get? You end up with chaos. Yep. And you can't do anything with chaos. When you use a keyboard, when you click A has to come up on the screen. It can't. How are you gonna have a keyboard and every time you press a key, it could be a different thing? It's confusion. That's why the scripture said the Lord is not the author of confusion. That's why He created His world with all this beautifulness in there, and it all operates off certain rules and functions that you can kind of bet on, man. Like, yeah, that's what it is. There's spring, and then there's, summer and winter, and it's all, according to how He set it, man.
Time things, and
the Lord did.
That's how they would, how they would plant their seeds in a particular season. And another particular season, they'd be fully grown. And it'd be time to reap it.
Otherwise, what would be the point of knowledge? If the knowledge would change from 1 minute to another, or 1 day to another, then you couldn't do anything, because you got to constantly, okay, what's it gonna do now? I don't know. Because the rules is so it's the Lord that set up the rules of thermodynamics, and the water freezes at this,
or what we call thermodynamics, because man's knowledge is only based on what we can observe, and it might not be the whole picture, So because men name these things, and
you're gonna get labels.
Yeah, obviously.
But that's the only thing. That's the only way you can communicate thought. Is you have to put a name on it. But there's certain rules. Like, you put a piece of meat outside, it's gonna break down. That's just how it is. You know that it's gonna rot. Shit rots. You put it out and it's hotter, it will rot faster. It's just shit that happens. But that's the Lord. He set it up like that, and we observe it and be like, okay, that's how it works. And then you do your operations. That's how you bake your cake, or that's how you do based upon that. And you repeat the process.
It should be the same.
It should be the same. But that's science. But it's the Lord. The Lord's work. Yeah, we put, we're gonna put, otherwise you can't talk to each other.
Proverbs 8 and 26. Whilst yet He had not made the earth nor the fields nor the highest part of the dust of the world. When He prepared the heavens, I was there. When He set a compass upon the face of the depth. When He established the clouds above. When He strengthened the foundations of the deep. When He gave the sea His decree, that the water should not pass His commandment.
The codes, man. It's the coding, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and they actually do that when they. I know you mentioned it. When you create these games and you make a sea in the game, you code it. That's why when you go, you can see it moving here, and it stops there, and then it goes back there. But
they don't want to, acknowledge, when it comes to the Most High.
But that just shows you that Esau's trying to be like the Most High, but his shit is not the same. This shit is that pound store. You get some shit from the pound store. It's budget, man. It breaks after a little while.
The quality is not there.
It's not there, man. You gotta get that that Audi German design, man. You can't be getting that goofy shit, man.
When He strengthened when He strengthened the foundations of the deep, when He gave to the sea His decree that the water should not pass His commandment, when He appointed the foundations of the earth.
That's it.
Back in Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 13, verse 3, right? It says, with whose beauty, let me just read up again. Yeah, it's going to drop verse 2.
Where your part?
So redeemed either fire or wind, or the swift air, or the circle of the stars, or the violent water, or the lights of heaven, to be the gods which govern the world, whose beauty, if they been delighted, took them to be gods. Let them know how much better the Lord of them is, for the first author of beauty have created them.
That's right. Well, you know, it all goes back to the Heavenly Father, man. He's the one that's created everything, even the wicked. Even Esau, Edom, the Lord created for his purpose, man.
That's why I told you, do not come to the back.
It says, but if they were astonished at their power and virtue, let them understand by them how much mightier he is that made them. For by the greatness and beauty of the creatures, proportionally the maker of them is seen. Right? What you see is the Most High, what he's done, what he's created. Right? So for those that, you know, oh, I didn't say, oh God, and this and that. Well, how did this all come to be? You're witnessing Most High's creation.
Greatness.
Yep, this is the greatness.
And guess what the most beautiful of the Lord's creation is gonna be? The Israelites, man. We're gonna be the most beautiful creation, man. That's why the Lord said he's gonna beautify the place of my sanctuary, man. We're the sons of God. When you see the heathens, you ain't gonna see the Most High, you're gonna be seeing us. And you're gonna give glory to the Heavenly Father, because like if the sons are this bad, then the Most High, the Father's gotta be on a different level.
100%.
In the kingdom, you know, you're gonna really see the glory of the sons of God, man. We're gonna be more glorious than the sun.
Yeah, we're gonna be glorious. Yep.
Man, because I'm starting. Okay, we had other scriptures we hold it, right? Okay, alright, cool. Yeah, man. So here, you know, we're just going into times right now on the rightness, and everything's gonna have to be put right. In fact, 2nd Ezra, the 6th chapter as well, we can get that. We can start from 9 and read down, because there's a good precept in there. It's all about time, and there's an age coming, man. These people don't realize it. But even after their own wickedness, like look how they brought in their new year, man. In the UK, like I was talking to the brothers earlier, with the spirit of Baphomet. They had the rebus on TV last night. Some goofy dude called Alexander, and the dude was on there, flaming, man. Zesty as you like, man. Full brimming with vitamin C. The man can't catch no cold. Yeah, zesty as you like, man. Did you see it? Bro, the dude was zesty. He was wearing a skirt, he was wearing a dress, he was singing women's songs, he was doing all women's dance moves. You know, like how the gal will be on the floor crawling around. You never see no man crawling around on the floor doing it. Man's all crawling around with his legs crossed, doing up their positions. I'm like, what the fuck is? But you see, this world is given onto that witchcraft, is given onto rebellion, is given onto disorder and confusion. Because that was confusion. Why is he singing Kylie Minogue and Britney Spears, blood? What's going on? Why is he wearing a dress for? Because they're promoting the spirit of rebellion, the spirit of alchemy, the alchemist, the great work, the rebus, what they call it, the divine hermaphrodite, man, which is an attempt to undo the order and the righteousness of the Heavenly Father, because the scripture tells you that male and female created he them, and he made them separate entities with different differences, man. Yeah. But Esau's trying to put it together, and no, he can't put it together. That dude was still a man, but I don't know what I don't know what he was, but this is the madness. And then they wonder why we're telling you that great judgment is going to come on this world. But they're bringing it upon themselves, because this is what you're saying. You're sitting there celebrating a new year to come, all well-wishing and all this stuff, based upon what? Wickedness and iniquity, when we know that the wages of sin is death.
2nd Ezra 15 and 6. For wickedness has exceedingly polluted the whole earth.
Right, it's the wickedness of exceedingly polluted the whole earth, because years back they wouldn't have done that. They wouldn't have had some fruity done. If they had a fruity done like that maybe 50 years ago, the people would already been complaining. Now everyone's just clapping and going along with it, and yeah, and I'm thinking, you don't see nothing wrong with this? This dude is fruity as you like. Why is he on the TV for 2 hours straight, gyrating and dancing around like a gal?
And he's a special guest.
And he's a special guest. And even the dudes that were with him were fruity as you like. He had one black woman with blonde hair.
Alexander and the
yeah, bro. The black one of the, I forgot what the other group was that they had on there with him, but it was like the black woman with the blonde, big fat black woman with blonde hair, and then you had the black dude, and he was fruity. He was, listen, man, vitamin C plus Centrium plus 50 plus package, bro. He was fruity. I was like, what's this? Look, so this is what they're promoting now. All over the TV, all they're promoting is pure the fraternity, bro.
That's something quickly.
Yeah, go on now.
Isaiah 3 verse 9 says, they shew their countenance doth the shew of their countenance doth witness against them, and they declare their sin as Sodom.
That's right.
They hide it.
Yeah, go on.
They hide it not. Woe unto their soul, for they have rewarded evil unto themselves.
And that's what's gonna come. So when this next year, you know, comes in, right? They no marvel not if the Lord bring more evil than the last, man. Because these people are all well wishing and celebrating.
Oh.
But how can you bring blessings onto yourself when you sow in evil?
Yeah.
If you sow evil, what are you gonna reap?
Reap the same.
No?
Yeah.
You got something?
And I guarantee you, this year's gonna be worse. The Most High gonna turn things up this year, man. You know, and we fully believe that, man, because everything's just falling into place nicely, man.
Yeah, this year was a good year.
This year could be better.
When we say good, we mean to the end of this age. Because we're at the end of this age, and that's another thing why we're talking about time. Because the Heavenly Father, He's the master of time. He's a timekeeper. That's why you have something called prophecy. Prophecy and time go hand in hand. It's all about timing. And you know what they say, right? Timing beats speed. And the Most High is the ultimate when it comes to timing. Everything, which we're gonna get it, everything happens according to the Most High's time, and He's divided all the times into even individual time. Like even a man's lifespan on earth has a time. To everything that to everything that's a time under the sun. Kingdoms have a time. You know, there's scriptures on that. But guess what? There's a bigger ultimate time which is above kingdoms, which is the ultimate age. Because you're gonna really have two ages. This age and the age to come. This age was the age of wickedness, darkness, ignorance, idolatry. When you really break it down, from Adam until now, it's just been bare idolatry and wickedness. Even after the flood, bare idolatry and wickedness. But the world to come is going to be a more perfect world, a world of enlightenment and of righteousness. But the change, when the Lord brings over that transition, it's going to be tumultuous and great.
Yeah.
And that's the time we're in right now. Go on, let's bring out all them precepts. The timekeeper.
2 Ezra 6 and 8. And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the hill of Esau. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth.
Right, this dark age that we live in, which this is truly a dark age. The word dark or anything that's black represents ignorance, the lack of knowledge, lack of wisdom. Yeah, that's this world. This world is the people themselves, generally speaking, are ignorant on so many levels. It's unbelievable. Even though we're supposed to be in according to him, an age of enlightenment, it's a damn lie.
Science and things like that. But look, the earth is in the worst state than it's ever been.
Why?
So yeah, how can that be? How can we be enlightened and yet the earth is suffering?
More self-destructive behavior. Self-destructive behavior comes from ignorance and darkness.
Things are supposed to be so bad that we've got to do something to save the world. The world is ending because apparently we're destroying it. Yeah. Well, how can we be? How can Esau and all this science be good then? Yeah. It's supposed to be BS.
Well, Esau is the real black man, dark man. Remember that film, Dark Man? Esau is the dark man, and but as it says, he would be the end of the world. So, and that's the truth. Yep. He is the guy that represents this age. He truly represents everything this age has been about. Is Esau, idolatry, rebellion, wickedness, evil. You know, yeah. Everything that's encompassed and embodied in Esau Edom is the way of this world. This world is after his. It's not like Esau is like, I'm trying to change the world to be better. No, Esau is the one that's really manipulating the world to be the way he wants. Yeah. He's the one that's pushing out this wickedness, the Baphomet and all this. He's the one pushing all that ignorance and foolishness on the people. To make the world like himself.
Well, I say he's trying to tamper with the code, man. You know, and that's why you got him in the laboratory. He's trying to take apart DNA and recombine it and all this kind of stuff. He's got a problem with the Most High, and he always has a problem with the Most High, man. And yeah, he acts like a right bastard right now. Like, you know, he's just trying to upset everybody because he's in a mood, you know. And that's what he's doing. He's trying to take it to the Most High, even though he ain't on the level to do that. But he's acting like a right bastard, man.
Very destructive. Everything Esau does, every knowledge he gets, he finds a way to use it in a destructive manner.
Yeah.
Everything. He doesn't use it in a positive way. Because knowledge is neither good or evil. It's how you apply the knowledge. Everything has a use and everything has abuse.
And because the Most High knows good and evil, he knows and understands. Because the angels, they understand that. It's just how you go about doing things, man.
But what does
you should
Esau
know how not to do things because you know evil.
Oh, there's those are watching the other guy saying just because you know how to do something doesn't mean you should, and that's that is a true statement. You can know how to do something, you can have the knowledge of how to, but then the key is should you? Is it right? Should you do that? Nah, Esau just
don't give a shit, man.
Yeah, I mean, he just do what the hell he do as thou will.
I'm great, I can do this,
and then just mess everything up.
Go. It's the book of 2 Thessalonians 2:3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition.
Right, that son of perdition is Esau, man, and he's been revealed in this last time. At that moment in time, it wasn't known that this was the guy. But it's been made to be manifest in this time that we're living in right now. Who that man is.
We were crazy, right? Because the apostles and
just what he's done.
But because their mind is so far removed from the true understanding of what we're saying, they think it's like some kind of caricature type thing. You know what I'm saying? And they think we're crazy for saying that. But really, when you analyze this man and his contribution to the earth, and his evil is so great, that's why most people can't even digest it. They think nah,
they try and turn a blind eye to everything that he's done.
No one can be that evil. There's a YouTube channel called Jack Tran, and he does like exposés on companies and he'll be like the most evil business, and he'll be doing all this. Guess who owns all the everything he talks about there? It's all Esau. I'm like, whoa, like everything, every wickedness,
because the earth has been given into the hand of the wicked,
man. The man is doing so much wickedness. He was talking about the cigarette companies and did it.
Monsanto.
It's all Esau's at the head of it all, just doing the most. Just doing the most.
All roads go back to Esau. But Esau got you focusing on things going on elsewhere. You black people, the violent black people in the ghettos and that kind of stuff. Oh yeah, they're violent. But no, what about you though?
Yeah, there's a lot more shit going on than that, man.
He has to put the focusing on other things, put it up in the news and whatever, have you focusing on that. So you don't actually pay attention to all the shit he's doing. Or
when he gets caught, it's like, oh, it's not white people, it's just humans. Yeah, fucking devil. No, this man is the man of sin, and that's why he's special when it comes to that wickedness. But like we said, he's the one that was meant to be ruling at the end of this age, and we are at the end of this age. We are at the end of the end. We're right there where this whole thing, there's going to be a change, and the new world is going to be unrecognizable compared to this one. So much, that's why the scripture says, seeing this thing shall be dissolved, because so much of what people are and what people think and the way people operate is going to be dissolved, and the new world, those things are not even going to exist. Imagine a world without Christmas. People would think that's crazy, right? Christmas is just, man could think World War IV could come and Christmas is still here. You know what I'm saying? That's how it's like so embedded into the psyche and the mechanisms and the way of people. It's almost like it's like an institution, or these things could never disappear.
Yeah, you have to have them.
It'll always be there, but guess what? In the kingdom of heaven, there won't be no Christmas. There won't be no Easter. There won't even be, it won't be considered.
Nothing even likened to it.
It won't be considered. It'll be a whole new way of living that is been established, just as much as this way of living has been established. But it's going to have to happen through a tumultuous and violent transition, man.
Should we just quickly?
That's not
he's eager.
No, I don't think it's
Hebrews 2:4. We were brothers and his daughters in faith. who will purpose and exalt himself above all that is called Most High.
And that begins with Esau, because Esau's the one that has the most reason to be like that anyway, because he's the devil and he's condemned in the scriptures. And that's one thing that people find it hard to understand, that this man is condemned above all creatures that the Lord has created. That's a good word. He's irredeemable. As much as he likes to paint us as the irredeemable ones. Oh, you blacks, you know. Yeah, we try and help you. And listen, ain't nobody can help you, Esau. You're the devil. Listen, you're done. You're Obadiah 18. You see, we bring it out, right, and people don't understand the gravity of what that means. That means this man is condemned. He's condemned. There's no way of getting around it. There's nothing. The scripture never said, but if Esau, if he does 5 press-ups and says 20 Hail Marys, there's a way where I'll preserve.
Hey, but the scripture said, man, he found no place for repentance. So there is none of those. Most I made sure there's no wiggle room in there, man. No loophole that Esau can find. That's what I mean. All these guys trying to defend Esau. Oh yeah, you know, the Lord's going to defend. Oh yeah, Cornelius is an Edomite, so the Lord's going to, you know, he's going to save a certain amount of Edomites that are righteous. No, there's no wiggle room. The Most High said there's no redemption for Esau.
There's no Johnny Cochran. Listen,
Hawkeye can hope all he wants.
Johnny Cochran can't get man out of this one. Yeah, you could get the best lawyers. Yeah, try and find every loophole, which they have. They've tried to find every loophole, so their only conclusion is like, well, in their words, the hell with the Most High, I'm gonna do my own thing. Yeah. I'm gonna try and do something around them. But you can't. There's nothing outside of the Most High. Put you in a box. There's nothing outside of the box. And that's why Esau, his character is the way it is, because he in the spirit, he knows he's condemned, and a condemned man will just do anything.
Hey, but he can't do anything against.
Hey, who's the worst man's in jail?
The one that knows that they're gonna be there for life.
The lifers are just reckless, man. They just juke you up. So what? I'm already in there for life. Ain't got nothing to lose. And that's what's gonna make Esau more and more dangerous. The scripture tells you, Revelations 12 and 12. The devil shall come down unto you, having great wrath, because you know if you have but a short time, he's gonna get more and more dangerous as this thing comes, man. Because he knows that desperation. It's messed up for him. I wouldn't want to be him. It's Pete.
Obadiah verse 18. And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame. And the house
Because we're going to be judges. And the Lord have given all judgment into the hand of his son, Yahweh Shai. And we're going to be like judges under Yahweh Shai, because we're his men. That's why it didn't say the other nations. Yeah. Because they ain't on the level to bring down that sentence. And it tells you in the book of Revelations, the 2nd chapter and the 25th to 26th verse, that he shall give us what? Power over the nations. When you look up that word, it means judicial power. Authority. We're going to have the authority and the power. We're going to be the world police, the world court. So we're the world boss. Yeah, we're the ones that's going to be, this is that. So when it's time for Esau to receive his judgment from the Most High of being exterminated, being removed from paradise, from Aidan, forever, his inheritance taken from him, because he tried to take everyone else's inheritance.
Yeah, he wasn't happy with his.
You know, it's ironic. The New World Order, you will own nothing and love it. Pussy, who are you to tell everyone that they can't own anything? Who the hell do you think you are? The Bible says the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. The Lord owns the earth, and what does it say? He divided unto all the nations their inheritances. Right. Now Esau, now the New World Order, I'm going to own everything, and you're going to love it. That's why you're going to end up with nothing. You wanted it all, and now you're going to get nothing.
Overextended yourself, man.
Yeah?
That's why the Lord told you to be content. Because the Lord can take you
but
out.
a covetous man can't be content. Yeah?
He says hell and cannot be satisfied.
Cannot be satisfied, man. Yep. So he's going to end up with nothing, man, and rightfully so.
Yeah. It says, and the house of Esau for stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord has spoken it.
Meaning they're not going to be a root. Like you had this fool from GOCC, Elder Rakar of the GOCC, and he tried saying, oh, there's going to be repentant Edomites. Bro, what part of there's going to be none remaining?
Yeah. Don't you understand?
Meaning there's not going to be a root of them. See, these other nations, we don't teach that they're going to be, their nations in terms of their infrastructures are going to be, listen, they're going to be destroyed, okay? But in terms of the actual people, we're not going to, the Lord ain't going to destroy all the Elam. The Lord ain't going to destroy all of Moab. There's going to be Moabites left, and then Moabites are going to come together and make more little Moabites, and then it's going to continue on. Just like the Lord is going to deliver an elect of Israel, that's going to deliver ultimately the whole nation, because the nation is going to grow. Because even in the kingdom of heaven, the other nations, they're going to be multiplying. Yeah, the animals are going to be multiplying. There's going to be more life when Esau's gone. But Esau, the Lord ain't even going to leave a bit of a root, because once you leave a root, it can grow back.
Well, that's the point. Like, what's the point of cutting something off at the root? So there can't be no branches.
But that's what
No
you do to a
progeny.
disease.
Yeah, there can't be no progeny though. There can't be no Edomite children. There can't be no family of Esau.
That's right.
That's the whole point of, you know, taking that out of the root.
Yep.
You know, that's what the Most High is going to do to the nation of Esau, to cut them out of the earth, man.
Like a cancer.
Akai them, like.
Yeah, out of existence, man. Akai. You know, which means destruction in Japanese.
Like
yeah,
cell.
Yeah.
Like, you know, cell.
Yeah. Destroy your wall.
Man gave Cell the proper thing.
Goku in the back country.
Yeah. Goku got to boost it up in the back, yeah. That was guilty still, but yeah. How did that work? No,
Can I get you finished one already, didn't we? Go on,
It's like it's
yeah,
like
you
it's
got-
like-
You finished that one?
Yeah, you got
Yeah,
you
so
got another
that shows you that the judgment is going to come. We're going to execute that judgment on our brother Esau, and we ain't going to hesitate either. And we guess what? I'll tell you another thing for free. Ain't nobody going to be shedding no tears for our dear brother Esau.
Nah, these after, especially after 1,000 years, man, Esau's guts are gonna be hated to the max, man. If they don't already hate Esau, which they do already, you know.
We're moving on.
Yeah, Esau, no one's gonna care.
Probably indifferent, you know what I mean?
No, just like how you people treat most of these people out here, you know, like homeless, or you don't give a shit.
Yeah, you're indifferent, isn't it?
You know, most
Like
people
when a
don't give a shit.
prostitute dies.
Yeah.
No one give a fuck.
Or you see, or you know, these guys, you know, in the third world right now, they're looking at them, they don't give a shit.
Yeah, that's how Esau, hey man.
You want to be like a blot on the earth, you know, and the
Moving
Most
on.
High gonna get rid of you, and no one's gonna care. Everything would be a good idea.
And then you just think about it. You're gonna remember to the time when this man was actually on TV talking every day.
Yeah.
Just talking.
Manipulating people.
Right,
Controlling
my name's
people.
John Smith from BBC News.
1
Acting like
billion
he's a
years
boss.
ago.
Yeah, Attenborough, man, them mans, you know.
Oh.
Telling you what's what, you know. Telling you he was like he was there.
And that's
You know?
why vocab don't like what we're teaching here, but it ain't our fault, vocab. You at the end of the day, it's the judgment of the Lord, and you got something out of it.
Huh.
You got the Lord is just. You got something out of the deal, did you not? You've had your time period to enjoy yourself in this earth. You had your time, and you chose when you had that time to be wicked. And so through that wickedness, you're gonna get the judgment, and it's only fair. You can't say you never had your time.
You did the crime, gotta do the time, man.
Sitting up there in Candyland, you had your time.
Yep.
Yeah, go on.
Alright, yeah. Didn't get mine up here. So this is 2 Ezra chapter 14 and verse 10. Right? So for the world have lost its youth, and times begin to wax old. For the world is divided into 12 parts, and the 10 parts of it are gone already, and half of a 10 part.
Right,
Now,
each part, yeah, go on.
well, I said, no, I haven't even gone through it for the
Each part is 1,000 years,
yeah.
because the earth is not really that old, man. The earth is literally it's about 11,000 plus years old. We're actually in the 12,000 period. Yeah, 12,000 period now. Whereas Esau the liar would tell you about.
Millions.
Man said the other day, did I even send it to you, Arkham? Man found an egg, right? Man said he found a dinosaur egg, and it was 66 million years old. A fucking egg. Yeah. And then in the CGI, he said the egg resembles a bird. And in the CGI, you actually see some bird thing in the egg, yeah? In the CGI, right? And I was like, nah, all on that. I ain't no fucking idiot. Show me the actual image of the thing. When I see the thing, it was just some bone in it. I said, look at this. Man. This guy's a pussy. Like, come on. But when you go to the article, what he shows you is the image of the CGI, and it's a bird in a thing. But when you see the actual fossil, it's a damn lizard type thing, man. It's some bone up in there, man. Man added skin and feather, and I said, look at this guy, man. This guy's a pussy. But that whole thing was a lie. I go into it all the time. Charles Lyell and George Cuvier and all them pagans from back in the Enlightenment era decided to push that whole thing about how the earth is millions of years old and blah blah blah. But it's all a lie. There's no evidence There is no physical evidence for the earth being that old. You can't have layers of rock billions of years old. It doesn't make no sense. It's bullshit, right? But Esau did that to try and undermine the validity of the Bible, because the biblical timeline is not that long. In fact, that's why Esau had to invent something called prehistory. But that's why they call it prehistoric. Now, pre-records, because recorded human history is about 6,000 years, which is which is accurate according to the scriptures. So that shows you how small of a period man has been on earth, and how small the kingdom of wickedness is compared to the kingdom of righteousness, which is eternal. Which ultimately means that this age is insignificant for many reasons, but significant to the point that it was the beginning that transitioned into us. But really, if you look at it for a period of time, say, it's gonna be nothing. We're gonna piss for 6,000 years, man. Do up the zipper. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're gonna be...
Oh yeah, well, we cook up the time, man.
Yeah, when you live forever, they show you that in the movies. When you live, the guy says 1,000 years is like a blink of an eye. You're gonna look back, it's like, right, this man did all that foolishness in about 6,000 years. And it's now 2 billion, the year 2 billion of our Lord. Like, oh shit, like, this guy really thought he had something going on. It's some little thing. Hey, but it said Satan shall be loose for a little season, man.
That's right.
And he really think he really doing something, man.
Little it is. Yeah.
But yeah, that's why the scripture breaks down the way it is. Because according to the Bible, the earth isn't that old, man. But it look old because it's getting worn out, man.
Yeah, that's because it's waxed old.
You're riding the legs off.
Because it's been abused.
Yeah, like a prostitute, man.
Yeah, done out. No,
in an Albanian ruffle.
Yeah. 20 looking 60, you know?
60 man a night, man. Worn out. Through.
Right, verse 13 says, now therefore set thine house in order and reprove thy people. Comfort such of them as be in trouble and renounce corruption. Let go from the immortal thoughts, cast away the burdens of man, put off now the weak nature, and set aside the thoughts that are most heavy unto thee, and hasty to flee from these times. For yet greater evils than those which thou hast seen happen shall be done hereafter. And we're living in that time now.
Yeah, boy, Daniel's 12:1. Great evil.
Yeah. So for look how much the world shall be weaker through age. And this is what we're saying for all this, because this wasn't written now. This was written then.
And everywhere more and more wickedness. I believe, you look at I'm always following what's going on in Jamaica, the chief city of Benjamin. You know, I'll be watching what's going on. It's like they done mash up the murder rate from last year. I think it's way over 1,400 murders. 1,400 murders. But that's just the man they find. Who you know, that's just the man that ain't missing. Because the man dumped him in a hole somewhere by a river somewhere. Man,
and
can't
population
find him
that's not that great of a size, man.
Them man are crying over like 30 teenagers got killed in London, blood. Listen, Jake is over there in Caracas and all them areas doing up madness when it comes to murder. And that's the recorded murders. That's not just people that
go missing,
head gone. Man can never find them again. Like, they're just missing. No one knows. They went out one day and they never come back, and that's that, innit? Them man are done put them somewhere that you'll never find them. The angels have to seek and find. Mad.
Earth took them.
So there's a lot of great evil happening in the earth now, more than ever. More than ever. Children murdering children, more than ever. It's crazy.
Yeah, there's the suicides, the depressions, and all of that. You know, it's still having a negative effect on the earth, man.
Child sexual abuse. You got Ghislaine.
Well,
you know,
well, people would assume that, you know, sacrifice is not happening. The sacrifice used to happen back in the day, right? It's happening now too. Probably on a larger scale than you know.
More.
You know?
100%.
That's why a bunch of children go missing. Unaccounted for.
Well,
there's a poster here. I keep seeing you going through the station, right? And there's a poster, you know, missing child, yeah. And nigga says here, he's like, you know, little Billy from EastEnders, yeah, when he was younger, yeah, right? He looks like one of them. He said, this kid's been missing for 30 years. I said, what is this supposed to do that for, man? This obviously guy's gone. You know what I'm saying? 30 years.
They rid the legs off that dude, man.
It's a white dude, like, you know what I mean? Yeah, it would be Edomite.
They rid the legs.
Like Madeline. You know, it would be Edomite. They'd be posting up for fucking years and years
Madeline,
and years. Gone.
They rid the legs off Madeline and they killed her, man. She's gone. Or she's chained up somewhere watching you talk about it on TV.
Yeah.
That's just how these devils operate, and it's a multi-billion-dollar industry, man.
Yep.
That child trafficking and all that, you know.
Yep. Says, for look how much the world shall be weaker through age, so much the more shall evils increase upon them that dwell therein.
Yep. And it's gonna get worse, man. Hey, isn't 14 the one with
Yeah, there's a whole lot
Moses?
in. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that's the one.
But I just want to get a point because I know we're gonna read that.
Yeah, I'm trying to steal the precept. Man.
Yeah, I want to try to do that.
Was he reading something there?
I know.
No, he was saying it.
That's something else.
Okay, get something else. And then you know that one we was gonna call for the times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the book of Ezekiel, the 7th chapter, verse 3. Now is the end come upon thee, and I will send my anger upon thee, and will judge thee according to thy ways, and will recompense upon thee all thine abominations. And mine eyes shall not spare thee, neither will I have pity, but I will recompense thy ways upon thee, and thine abominations shall be in the midst of thee, and ye shall know that I am the Lord Yahweh. Thus says the Lord Yahweh, and
which chapter is it? And, oh, that's the one I was calling for. Yeah, go on.
Yeah. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, an evil, only an evil, behold, is come.
Yep.
An end is come, the end is come, it watcheth for thee, behold, it is come.
And that's going into this age as a whole. But if you put it into a magnifying glass, Esau's kingdom, and these Edomites are gonna suffer. I don't care whether you're my man that's down and out on the street Edomite, to the Edomites that's living up, look, they're man in them nice little yards where man them that's out there in Basildon, up to Cornwall, living in Leamington Spa. These Edomites living that good middle class, upper class life, that blanketed life that they've been living, even up to the elites. The way the Lord is gonna rip this kingdom from them, it's gonna be terrible. Like how a tiger would rip an apple out your hand. They ain't gonna listen, rip your hand going with it. Yeah, the Lord is really gonna do something. Your kingdom is gonna go down in the worst way it's gonna go down the fastest and the worst any kingdom has ever gone down. We're talking about everything that can go wrong is gonna go wrong.
Yeah.
Everything that can go wrong is gonna go wrong, and it's gonna be terrible for you Edomites.
Great cataclysm.
And none of you are gonna come out the other side of it smelling of roses. Even your elite, and they're in the best position because they got the bunkers and.
These men gonna wake up to Planet of the Apes, man. You know what I'm saying?
They're gonna be shitting themselves, man.
Yeah.
They're gonna know true fear, man. They ain't never really known true fear because they've been living so pampered and so protected. When we get hold of them man are gonna know. They gonna what's this feeling? They ain't gonna know what it is when your belly's feeling funny like that.
Because what's it, man? Because what you say about the curses that were put upon us will come upon our enemies, man. And one of the curses that we'd have, what the scripture speaks about, having trembling of heart and not knowing whether their life is in the balance all the time. You know what I mean? You're always in fear. You know, and that's how you Edom's gonna feel all the time. You know, it's terrible, man.
Danger.
Yeah, spider sense and tingling, man. All the time.
This is the book of Jeremiah 49 verse 13. For I have sworn by myself, saith the Lord, that Bozrah shall become a desolation, a reproach, a waste, and a curse, and all the cities thereof shall be perpetual waste.
Right now, Bozrah here spiritually is talking about America. Because America, Bozrah is one of the chief cities of Edom, and that is America now. It's the chief city of America. It's their darling. That's if you could pinpoint a place where America's like, yeah, this is where it's at. No, America, where Edom would say that, they would say America. That's their greatest. That's the tip of the spear. That's the heights of the heights.
That's why the harlot was clothed in fine, you know, with purple and scarlet and all of that. The jewels. It's the greatest of the Edomite nations.
Wait, but it's gonna go out stink, man. It's gonna be going out like Antiochus. Stink.
Yeah.
Looking terrible, looking nasty. But the Lord's gonna deal with it. And it's gonna turn like milk. It's gonna turn quick. You know how milk be? 1 minute it's cool, next minute foul.
I beheld Satan fall like lightning.
Like lightning.
You know, so when the judgment comes against him, man, it ain't gonna take long. You know, we're gonna have everything that goes on in between. You know, America's destruction and that kind of stuff, but it ain't gonna take long for America to disappear. You know,
it's already on its way down. But you see, they got the celebrity culture to paper over the tracks. They got a lot of they got a lot of distraction that they set up to basically hide away what's really going on, you know. And then you got Hollywood with the glitz and the glamour. So but even in Hollywood, in LA, you got Skid Row, and you know, right in the corner. I'm sure it's right in the corner from Hollywood.
Yep.
So they've always been able to paper over the cracks, you know, but they've got that white underbelly, and that underbelly, soft white underbelly is growing. Tent cities, that was from years ago.
Well, say you even got that problem out there in California by was that famous beach, Venice Beach?
Yeah, Venice Beach.
You know, you got bare homeless and shit going on. They can't clean the streets and all that kind of stuff.
And it ain't getting less homeless people.
No,
it's getting more homeless people.
Yeah.
You know, more drug addicted. The drug problem is not getting better; it's getting worse.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, but you know, they could do it. What's it called? One of them award shows, I don't know, some bullshit, Grammy or whatever, and it will have all the glitz and the glamour still, and people think it's still up. Nah, it ain't up no more, it's going down. So it's already been on its way out. Look at London, man. London's been empty, man. Certain brothers, this brother, we work down central London. I'm telling you for free, central London is up there. It's usually, the footfall dies down around this time, but not like this. It's been dead out there. Even no one weren't even going shopping. Usually people would flood down from other areas to go Oxford Street to go shopping around this. Listen.
Well, I was down there the other night, you know, with a brother, man, just, you know, catching up and drinking or whatever, right? And the streets were quiet. There's no festivity going on there. You don't look at the lights on and shit, but like, these people are not out here. You know, usually they're celebrating all fucking the whole 2 weeks on Christmas, well, before Christmas and after New Year, they were partying.
They're shopping.
There ain't nothing going on.
It's different. And then the fireworks last night, mans went down there to see it, and they moved it, and it was yeah, they should have just stayed at home. It's peak. Peak.
It says in Jeremiah 49:14, I have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador is sent unto the heathen, saying, gather you together and come against her and rise up to battle. Rise up to the battle. For lo, I will make thee small among the heathen and despised among men. Thy terribleness have deceived thee, and the pride of thine heart, O thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, that holdest the height of the hill, that shouldest make the nest as high as the eagle. I will bring thee down from thence, saith the Lord, and Edom shall be a desolation. Everyone that goeth by it shall be astonished and shall hiss at the plagues thereof.
Right, because these devils after World War II and they became the superpower, they've been riding that. You know? And these guys are meant to be good Christians. So you think they'd rule with some kind of mercy or some kind of care. No, they've been ruling with the iron fist.
Right.
They've been violating and taking the piss, going over and bullying countries and enriching themselves. And, you know, enriching themselves by bullying other people because they got the guns.
In the name of democracy.
In the name of democracy, man.
Make it look sound like they're fair. They ain't fair.
Bunch of gangsters, yeah? But then you know what that does? That sows, even with the guys that's over there that's working with them, they know they're pieces of shit. They're like, yo, but these guys are pieces of shit. You know what I mean? We got to work with them for now. But these guys are shit. So the first time they get the opportunity, they're going to fucking stick you. And that's how the world works. People, yeah, if you got, you know, you're running the game, right? And you can bully people. People only listen to you because they fear you, right? Okay, but what happens when they lose that fear? Where's the love? There ain't no love there. So they're gonna stick it to you. That happens all the time. That's how it works. You got a guy that's the head of a gang or whatever, and at one point, you know, everyone respects him and that, but really he's been a prick to everyone. So everyone's just waiting for an opportunity. And as soon as them man see the weakness and they get the opportunity and he's begging for mercy, there ain't gonna be no mercy, because as far as they're concerned, fuck you.
Couple presets.
And that's how it's gonna be with America. They ain't gonna have no friends because even their own allies, they've violated them.
Yep. We got a couple presets on that. It's Obadiah 1:7. It says, all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him.
There ain't gonna be no loyalty. Nobody gonna loyalty to a prick. And that's exactly what America and Esau has been. Even to their allies, even to guys that they was set up. They turn around and stab them in the back and all that.
Well, just look at recently, the America and Britain did a deal with Australia that France was meant to be in on. And they did basically hijack their deal, man. So France is pissed. France is super pissed about it, man. But what can they do?
Can't do nothing because they got the big guns. But see, there's gonna come a time when they're gonna need them certain allies and they're gonna turn on them. They're gonna say, you know what, man? The Lord gonna put that spirit in them. You know what, man?
That's it.
We're gonna put an end to this guy right now.
Yep. It's from Revelation 17 verse 16. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, which is, you know, NATO, like the EU, right? These show hate the whore, which represents America, because America is the head of NATO, right? So therefore he's the head of the beast, the whore and the beast, right? So these shall hate the whore and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. For the Most High put in their hearts to fulfill His will.
His will, because it's the will of the Lord to have America be destroyed, and it's going to happen. I say, when is it going to happen? It's going to happen. It's an algorithm. Everything. It's like clockwork. It's going to happen in its time. Are we still holding that precept?
Because we speak about Russia a lot, because obviously Russia's the main
we'll get that next.
threat at the time, man. But when that moment comes,
they're going to turn.
all of them are going to turn. You know,
When thou shalt
America's gonna be
cease
made
to deal
destination.
treacherously, they shall deal treacherously with thee, man.
That's right.
I was going to say, Putin was basically, when he was asked by a European journalist around why he's moving with such aggression to Ukraine, he told him straight, like, how would you feel if we went to Mexico and Canada and set up our bases and had military bases ready?
And there lies the hypocrisy.
Oh, but then we'll have a whole new Cuba situation again. But that's what they did then, right? When Cuba was getting them things, right? And they start making a big deal out of it. But what you're doing to Russia?
Yeah, and
You know what I'm saying?
but it's funny all how that stuff started cooking up towards the so-called end of this year, leading into the next year. And you know what? Last time, right at the beginning of the so-called year,
right,
there were fireworks. So we might, you know.
Iran and
But it's all in the Lord's timing, because everything the Lord's done, it happens to a particular timing, and everything has to line up. Like the elder apostle Tahar speaks about the different prophecies, where each prophecy has its time where it's going to come into play. Like the mark of the beast ain't going to happen after the America's destroyed. It has to happen before. Everything is in its timing, but it ain't going to happen before the elect gets sealed. So everything has a timing. And it's funny because we was here, and that woman is just the Elamite looking woman. She's like, oh, you guys Jewish Israelites, which shows you what she knows about the Israelites. She must know about the Israelites. Because why would you randomly say, are you guys Israelites, Jewish Israelites? Because she knows, she's seen something.
Before you used to get, are you Muslims or something? But no, she's actually more educated than that.
Yeah,
she's seen and heard. Because the word has been getting out there.
Yeah, the word is definite, but because it's all in the Lord's. Let's get that real quick.
Yep. I was gonna say something, man. It's got my mind, man.
We'll come back.
This is the book of 2 Ezra 4 and 37. By measure as he measured the times, and by number as he numbered the times.
Right, that's why I said the Lord is the timekeeper. He's the master of time. The man talking about Kang. To hell with Kang. The Most High is the master of time. He's actually set everything in motion, and everything happens at a particular time. It don't happen before, and it don't happen after. It happens when it's supposed to happen. Just like prophecy, like for instance, when you go back to the time of Haman, he was a spy. Haman was he was an infiltrator. When you read in the history, right, Macedonia always had a relationship with Persia, right? Now what the Macedonians were doing was they inputted a triple double agent, Haman into the Persian kingdom, seeking to overthrow the Persian kingdom to give themselves the kingdom. But what happened? Haman, the Lord used Haman for the purpose to do with Mordecai and Esther, but then he got put to death. Now that would have stopped that plan.
Because he became like the second.
Because he became the second man, so he was almost there where he could have uprooted the kingdom. But guess what happened though? Why? Because it wasn't time for the Persians to go down, but they did end up going down by the Macedonians. When it was time, and the Lord set up Alexander to do it, right? And like for instance, the Roman Empire, you had many rebellions against Rome. Many failed. Why did they fail? Because it wasn't the time. Spartacus's rebellion, slave rebellion, they failed. What was that guy's name? The one that got right at
Begin with being it.
What's that?
Hannibal.
Yeah, Hannibal at the gate. He got up to the gates of Rome. Why didn't he take Rome? Why was he unable to take down Rome? Because it wasn't that time. Because Rome had a time to rule. The time when they were going to go down. And the same thing goes with this kingdom. You ain't going to take, this kingdom wasn't going to fall 50 years ago or 100 years ago by accident. It's gonna fall when it's exactly the time for it to fall.
It's got a demolition date.
It's got a time. And it ain't random. It's the time the Lord has already ordained in his own glory, man, in his own knowledge and power.
Real quick, he said Daniel 2:20. Daniel answered and said, "Blessed be the name of Yahweh forever and ever, for wisdom and might are his. And he changeth the times and the seasons. He removeth kings and setteth up kings. He giveth wisdom unto the wise and knowledge to them that know understanding. He revealeth the deep and secret things. He knoweth what is in the darkness, and the light dwelleth in him."
There you go. The Lord controlleth all. That's why he can make prophecies about, okay, this kingdom is going to come up now, and then the next kingdom is. But how the Lord know when the next kingdom is? Because he's the one that's setting it up, and he knows the time. You might not know, but he knows.
And the Most High gave the whole prophecy to Daniel, man. He talking about all the different kingdoms, man. You know, and that was disclosed unto Nebuchadnezzar. He said that after you, these kingdoms are going to come rule after you, man. Ain't going to be your kingdom no more. These kingdoms are going to come up in your place. But then he said, oh, these ones are going to be inferior to you, though. You know, because each kingdom that came, man, was, you know, was stronger, but ultimately it wasn't as great in a way, you know. And so we're down here now at the feet of that statue, you know, the iron and clay, which is Esau's kingdom right at this moment in time. You know, that's where we are in that terms of the prophecy, man. We're at the end of that. And the Lord is going to come and smash the shit out of it, man, and establish his kingdom.
They call it the acceptable year of our Lord, man.
That's right.
Now, we don't know when that year is, but it
willing,
could be 2022.
God willing, man.
2022 could be year one, man. It could be year one. Could get a reset button. Oh. They call it the Great Reset. Yeah, they're going to be a great reset.
Well, remember what I was going to say earlier, man. Do you know that term that they use, that these presidents use? Oh yeah, all things on the table, right? In terms of prophecy and all the things that can happen, everything's there. It's all out on the table, spread out there. Situation B, situation A, D, C. Everything's there. Everything's ready for this kingdom to go down.
There's no plan B, is it?
Well, for us, no, this is what's going to happen, man. But all the prophecies are there.
It's what the Most High said going to happen is going to happen, man.
Yep. This kingdom is primed for destruction now. You know.
This is of Ecclesiasticus 10:4. The power of the earth is in the hand of Most High, and in due time he will set over it one that is profitable.
Look at this man ain't profitable onto the earth, man. This man destroyeth the people through his wickedness and evil. You know, he abuses these idiots, man. Like these so-called Negroes, man, still worshipping the Democratic Party, or you Negroes here in the UK worshipping the Labour. That's why I don't really like. Listen, man, you can't talk to Jake, man. You can't. Labour. Yeah, because of the Tory them. The Tory them come in and look what the Tory them are doing.
The rich.
The Conservatives. That's why you have to vote Labour. Because Labour did help you out. Labour ain't doing a damn thing for you, man. Labour ain't doing nothing for you, man. What are you talking about, man? This man ain't for you. Bugging. Straight bugging, man. You can't even explain that to them. None of them ain't for you, man. This man is just abusing your people, man. You think Tony Blair care about you? Is that it on that? Is that
No.
Finish that off.
2 Ezra 4:37. By measure as he measured the times, and by number as he numbered the times, and he does not move nor still them until the said measure be fulfilled.
That's right. So everything has to be fulfilled. Everything just like, another example, the Canaanites. What did the Lord say to Abraham? Look, man, your children, they're gonna be sojourners. They're gonna go into captivity among the Egyptians, and they're gonna come out. Yeah, but they're gonna have to be there until the fullness of the Amorites, or the Amorites or the Canaanites be fulfilled. Meaning what? The Canaanites had to fulfill 400 years of wickedness, and they did fulfill that time
to justify the destruction that they received, which was going to come by us.
And then so Moses was born. Now I show you, that's precision. That's precision.
Fine tuned.
The Moses was born. There's no accident. See, for us, everything seems random. This person got pregnant by accident. With the Most High, there is no such thing as random. Random is something that we use to rationalize things which are happening around us. Oh, I randomly bumped into someone today, or I flipped a coin and it randomly landed on heads.
Because you didn't know what it was going to be.
Because you don't know. Yeah. So to you, it's a random event. Where with the Most High, there is really no such thing as a random event. It's what He wants it to be. You know? It's rigged.
So that's why we don't believe in coincidence, don't believe in free will. Right? It doesn't exist. The Most High chooses. He gets to decide, man.
His will.
Just like he decides who rules, who don't
Oh,
rule.
Job 4,
There's
15
instances in
and
the Old
14,
Testament where,
Job
like,
4,
the Lord actually told, like, even with Joshua, where he actually told Joshua the outcome of battles before the battle was fought. Like, that's crazy. Like,
You know? That's it, man, because the Most High is in control. The Most High is always in control. He's never not in control. So if you use to think that you can take control away from the Heavenly Father, you can't do that. It's impossible.
Because he trying to set up this new,
Yeah.
this goofy guy.
This
he
is my
gonna
destiny.
set up a new world order, man.
And succeed. No, you ain't gonna succeed, man.
Unruly.
You're gonna get slapped.
You think he could give himself the blessing?
Yeah. Come on, man. You can't bestow that upon
No,
yourself.
the eternal kingdom. There's only one kingdom that the Lord has blessed to be eternal and to be forever and ever, ever, forever, ever, and that's the kingdom of Israel.
Well, that's what I mean. Who did he prescribe that to?
The
Only
Israelites
one people ever mentioned about an everlasting kingdom.
The kingdom shall not be left to no
An
other
everlasting
people.
priesthood. An everlasting kingdom of kings and priests.
Esau's just gonna be everlasting shame.
David's throne forever.
Yeah.
Who does this belong to though? It belongs to Israelites, man. It don't belong to no one
said
else.
David shall be their king forever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It don't pertain to other nations. The other nations don't have a David. You know what I'm saying? They don't have the most. They don't have Yahweh Shai. They don't got none of those things.
David,
I was trying to read this video. Read that. Sirach chapter 10, verse 1. A wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered. As the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers. And what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein. An unwise king destroyeth his people.
Well, because what? Esau is promoting wickedness and evil, so the people are going to get judged off the back of that. Because the Lord ain't going to say, oh, well, Esau had you watching this TV program and you picked up Batman ways, so now I'm not going to punish you. Nah, you still done evil, so you're going to have to pay for the evil that you've done. That's one of the reasons why the nations are going to have contempt for Esau. Because they're like, hold on, you were up there leading us down this path.
You fed us this shit.
Yeah? And now we're getting our asses kicked for shit that you were promoting. That you said was cool. That you said it was okay.
But that's why it's to say, man, the nation are drunk in the wine and are mad. Because they're joining in the judgment now.
Yep.
For following Esau.
Well, they're all gonna be in that world war.
Yeah,
who sent them down that path? Who's the one that made all these weapons and was handing them out like it was candy?
Just creating the stabilization, man.
Then turn around and talk about nuclear non-proliferation after you don't let a Pandora out the box. Well, we have a non-proliferate. We got about 1 billion nukes.
Yeah.
But
anyone that owns nuclear weapons is evil. You know what I mean? But we the ones that use them.
Man's got 2,300 nukes. Non-proliferation. So you're gonna get rid of nukes you have.
I continue making more.
Fuck this guy, man.
No, these are not nukes. These are new technology. There's how to get around it. These are not nukes. These are different. These are something else.
Fuck this dude, man. This dude's an asshole, man. But he's the one he's led the earth to the path where it's on, but he was meant to do that.
That's right.
He was meant to be the one to lead the earth into this destruction.
So it's the end of the world. So this is all meant to happen. This is all planned out. Most High is, like I said, in control of everything that's going on, and he's doing it. Esau's doing everything he's supposed to do.
Yep.
And he's not doing anything that he is really wanting to do. Esau's not in control.
The heart of the king is in the hand of the Lord, man. He turneth it whithersoever he will.
Yeah, well, it's mentioned it here as well. This is the verse 4 says, the power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time he will set over it one that is profitable. Okay, which is our Lord, Yahweh Shai. Okay, in the kingdom of Israel, right? In the hand of the Most High is the prosperity of man, and upon the person of the scribe shall he lay his honor. Okay, that was the point. So the Most High, he's going to set up the Lord to bring righteousness upon the earth, because Esau is not that person, man. He's the opposite to that. So Esau needs to be getting rid of, so Yahweh Shai can come and claim his throne, and righteousness can rule upon the earth, man.
In due time,
in due time.
In due time.
That's right.
When the Lord's ready, which he's ready, man. We could tell we're getting near to that time where the Lord's going to say, okay, unleash that, make that happen.
Hey, well, we noticed that the angels have been busier. The chariots, the chariot signs, they're doing some madness, man. The whole fleets of chariots moving around, circling navy vessels and all kinds of stuff. So the angels are doing what they're doing, man. So no wonder things are happening more and more often. You know,
I mean, in London, like where you wouldn't have those serious severe weather disasters. I still remember that tornado in East London, all kind of crazy shit that you just wouldn't.
We was out that day.
Flash tornado.
Oh no, it was me and no.
Well, I saw it that day. That day it happened. I was in the area.
Yeah.
You know, flash tornado. It just broke up a couple of buildings, walls down and stuff like that. Wow. Down on the street. You know what I'm saying?
Right down the street.
And well, seeing it's the first, we're gonna be monitoring it to see when we're waiting for the first major thing. You know, it's the first now of this wicked calendar, so we're gonna see what's gonna happen. It's like an AIDS test, you know. What's the results, man? We're gonna be looking in the first 7 days. You know, we'll see what's up.
Yep. It was literally last year. Was the Iranian commander got killed, man?
Yeah.
That's like
Was
the
that
second
last year?
day.
No,
Is it last year?
Was that else or the year before?
The year before.
I don't know.
I have
Man.
to check.
You know,
I have to
but
check.
When
live.
was that big explosion with the in not Syria, the other one? It was one of them other countries down there. It was like a massive explosion that happened. Remember, it almost looked nuclear.
Yeah, I
I
know.
forgot what country.
Lebanon?
Lebanon,
Yeah.
yeah.
That was 2020.
Kaboom.
so it was last year prior, innit? Yeah.
See, time's flying,
Yeah,
man.
it is, man.
Go on, you got this precept there? Ambulance.
Yeah, someone's needing
Job.
something.
Picking up Esau.
It's the book of Job 14 and 5. Seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee, thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass.
So the number of his months is with the Most High, right? So the Most High has actually got a time scale, on, you know, time limit on this dude, man.
Expiry date.
Yeah, just counting down. You know what I mean? Just counting down, man. And when that time's up, that's it.
No, you can't get extra?
No, I can't. In this movie, man, it was
can't.
like Justin Timberlake movie time.
once
You got to buy
once
time.
again.
Man.
Once it runs out, it runs out. Man just anyway,
Yeah.
drop down there like his mom, innit? That happened to his mom.
Yeah, I think so.
She's running for the bus.
Running,
She ran out of time, but that was it.
Finished.
I couldn't borrow no more. Like, done.
That's it, man. The Most High's got his time limit. He can't pass, man. And that's why we know, hey, we ain't got to worry about Esau, because Esau will get taken down anyway. We ain't got to worry about that. Most High gonna do his thing. You know, we know Esau ain't gonna stay with all the shit.
Not forever, man.
No. You know, so we know
Thank
the Lord's
the
coming.
Most High, man, because if this man was in power forever, life would
No
cease
flesh,
to exist on
yeah,
the
no
earth.
flesh would
man.
be saved.
But this guy is just too stupid.
Yeah, thinking he's smart.
He's a fart smeller. That's what my uncle was saying. You think he's a smart fella, but he's a fart smeller. When certain man think they're too intelligent, the worst thing is an intelligent fool.
Yeah.
It's gonna they start doing
Crazy.
dangerous shit.
Yeah.
Messing with nukes.
Black
and
holes and shit.
Yeah.
This is the book of Sirach 18.
Which the word smart means hurtful. It's having the intelligence to be hurtful.
Yeah, I remember that because someone said like smarts, isn't it? Something hurts. Yeah, I get that.
Sirach 18 and 3. Who governeth the world with the palms of his hand, and all things obey his will. For he is king of all, by his power divine and holy things among them from profane.
And you Edomites are profane, man. And that's why we ain't gonna listen to you when it comes to the spiritual things. We don't have no Edomite spiritual fathers, right? We don't look to you for interpretation of the scriptures, right? We don't need your verification. Oh, yeah, Esau just broke down this precept. Can you tell me whether it's correct? Suck your mother. That's what we say. We ain't got no time. And that's why Vocab and them man are hurt, because we're completely disconnected from them. We're not like these Negroes out here that be sucking on Esau's nutsack, man. That's why they go to Trinity Bible College to get their theology degrees. See, everything they believe, Esau has to basically co-sign or give it the stamp of approval. We don't need no approval from no Edomites.
It reprobates, man.
This is this knowledge that we have, no matter which way you slive it. You know who certifies it? Ultimately is the Lord which is in heaven, but our elders, man, Israelite men certified the breakdowns, that stamp these breakdowns with approval. Like, yep, that, and then we're like, okay, cool, we're running with that. Because the men of the Lord have done said that's what it is. We don't need John Hagee or David Gusick, Matthew Henry, or none of these other devils. Who else we got? There was this guy that Vocab follows.
White.
Yeah, Dr. James White. We don't need that guy to call, oh, I'm a professor, I'm a PhD.
What does that
I'm
mean?
a theology PhD. Well, first of all, you're an Edomite, so...
I was like, you know what that's like? That's like the Lord came, He taught you, right? And then, you know, after the Lord, you know, went away, went back, right? Like someone started up a school and started teaching something else, and you went to that school because it's prestigious or whatever. But what about what the Lord taught? You know, we're meant to continue the things that we wish we would learn. Yeah. These Edomites are not authorities on the scriptures, man. They don't know the scripture. The Lord never taught them.
The Lord is not dealing with them. They're liars, man. Spiritually, there's always going to be corruption that coming from them. Even when they tell the truth, there's going to be some lie in there, because that's how Esau operates. This thing is holy. This ministry is holy. It's the members of the ministry from the top to bottom are all Israelites. They ain't no Edomites, you know, Reverend Esau. No.
Fuck yeah.
You know? It tells you. Let's get that Ephesians the 4th chapter. I love that thing. Yeah? The Lord provided different men in different offices for the ministry. I hate to break it to you. No Edomites in there. Not one Edomite can be in there. Not no prophet, not no pastor, none of that. Not even the dude that's holding the door open. Nah, none of the. Because you're unholy. You can't be a part of this thing.
Cool, man.
Vocab wants us to invite him in, and so he can co-sign like what's right, what's the right breakdowns. Oh, where did you get that breakdown from?
Don't worry about
Don't worry where we got it from. I know where we didn't get it from.
It ain't from you, though. Ain't for you, ain't from you.
You slave breakdowns, man.
Yeah. Oh, I don't think that's correct. No one gives a damn. No one gives a damn what you think. You don't need them, man. See, no one gives a damn what need them, man, things, man. You know, that's what's gonna be like the kingdom too. Ain't gonna no one give a damn, man.
Who made you an authority over the spiritual things? You might be an authority over this world, but you're not an authority over the spiritual things, man. You're not an authority.
And the scripture said there's none more profane than Esau. What do you know about the spiritual things, man? You're a carnal man.
Yeah, you know what spiritual things you're an authority over? Like if I want to know about if I want to know about the sciences, the obeah and the voodoo, then I'll come to you, and you probably know all of that, like Crowley. If you're into that kind of stuff, then you got to go to a high level Edomite living out there in Yorkshire somewhere in a fucking cottage, and they're gonna be able to tell you all the Stonehenge and all that business. They're gonna break it down to you. But when it comes to these holy scriptures, okay, go on, get that.
This is John 19:8, talking about Yahushua before his crucifixion. When Pilate therefore heard that saying, he was more than afraid, and went again into the judgment hall, and saith unto Yahushua, Whence art thou? But Yahushua gave him no answer. Then said Pilate unto him, Speakest thou not unto me? Knowest thou not that I have the power to crucify thee, and the power to release thee? Yahushua answered, Thou couldst have no power at all against me, except it were given thee from above. Therefore he that delivered me unto thee have the greater sin.
Yeah, that was them wicked ass Jakes, man. You know? Okay, go on.
It's the book of Amos 3:7. Surely the Lord's power will do nothing, but he reveals his secret into his servant the prophets.
And that's how we got this truth. See, we didn't get this from. That's why it's so profound. That's why these guys are thrown back. You know, even
this wasn't being taught.
They don't know these prophecies. Who else is talking about America's destruction? Like we are. Who's putting all these? Who's talking about the return of the Messiah and the restoration of the nation of Israel, and telling you who the Israelites are, and breaking down who Esau is and all this stuff, and bringing out all these treasures out of these scriptures? Who else is doing that? No one. You can't. There's no school that you can go and learn this from. You can't go to Trinity Bible College and they're gonna give you the understanding, because guess what? They ain't got it. Certain things they do have, but certain things that the Lord has given us, they ain't even got that. Because it was given unto us spiritually.
Yeah. Because
we're special. Esau don't even know. Esau be wondering, how the hell do they know that? Like,
having never learned. You know? They used to say that about the disciples, man. These are unlearned men. How do they know these? Even when the Lord came and said he was just a young boy, he said, how did he understand all this? Like, how did he know this? Because it was given to him. And the Lord is the word, you know, but it was given to the disciples. They knew.
But he was strong in the spirit, man.
That's right. They didn't attend
no
synagogue.
Like the Lashawang, the Karashis. That's why everyone scrutinizes. Where'd you guys get the Hebrew from? The Lord. Okay, the Lord gave the inspiration to great men like High Priest Ariel to break down the Hebrew, to give it to us again. Now you might say yourself, oh, where's the proof? Because you're right, we've not got no recording of the pronunciations from Moses. We're taking it on faith that this is the correct thing. But I've got a question for you. How did they get the Hebrew in the first place? How was the Hebrew language spoken on earth in the first place?
Someone give them a book.
Oops. Did they get a DVD or something? Nah, the Lord inspired men. It tells you in the scriptures. He put speech in the 8th place. Like, so it's the Lord that inspired men with the speech in the first place. So now you're telling me the Lord can't inspire men with the speech again?
This is what I mean. These people don't believe in the spiritual aspect of anything. Because they're all carnal based, you know, they're carnal minded. So really they're not in tune with the scriptures at all anyway.
Listen, I know, personal testimony. I remember when I first came across the truth, I was watching a video of the 12 tribes breakdown, which he was wrong on a little bit of it, because he was talking about he was wrong on the Polynesians part, but he did the breakdown. It was the GOCC, the so-called Elder Rakar, he was doing a breakdown of the 12 tribes, and that's what hooked me, because like when he said Benjamin, the West Indians, I was like, rah! I remember the first thing I thought to myself was, hold on, what? Like, that means I'm related to King David. And that was it. You had me. Yeah. So then I'm watching this thing, and then he says like Ahaya and all this goofy business, right? And I remember, like, obviously you know how YouTube work, innit? Like, then I saw a video, and it was with the apostles, and I'm watching the apostles now when they were teaching back in 34th, right? And I'll never forget it. Like, I was watching and I kept hearing this name. I'm like, raw, like, what's that? Like, you know them ones you just like, what is that? Like, it was like, yeah, it was like Elder Ricard did. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because Yahweh Shai gonna cut. And I was like, hey, what's this all about? I remember specifically, he said, nah, I need to remember this. I remember just saying, no, and rewind. Yeah, I was shouting. Yeah, and I swear I played it about 10 times and then to this day, that name stuck. So I know that the Lashawan Kodash, it has to be the truth, because, well, man ain't got to believe what I'm saying, but I'm just saying, I know we can't
make believers out of those that don't believe, you know.
It connected, man.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Like, I had to learn it. I knew it at that moment. I said, no, I have to have it. I must have this.
It's essential.
Yeah, man.
That's it.
So the Lashawan Kodash, we have it, and it is by divine inspiration.
You know, it's like we believe in it. It's by faith. Because, like I say, it's a spiritual thing. You're not gonna find, because you can find script, engravings and stuff of the old Paleo Hebrew and all that kind of stuff. But how to speak it. Because no one knows how to speak it. So, like, basically, isn't it? Because no one's allowed to speak it, so it has to be given back to us, the spiritual kind of setting, right? Given to us in our minds, man, and belief in the, in hearing it.
And that fulfills the precept that we shall call upon his name, and he shall deliver us. So he had to give us the name. In order to give us the name, you got to give us the language.
We should call all the name one consent.
But we have to have it given by Esau, and then it's correct. You know, if it has to be Esau. If Esau makes it up somewhere in a room and give it to you, then it's correct, because Esau, and that's because in this world Esau is such an authority that he puts his stamp on approval, but he's abused that. So he's putting his stamp on approval, FDA approved, and he will FDA approve poison. But this is the man we're supposed to,
trust him.
We already know what the Catholic Church was dealing with.
Oh yeah,
they approving all kind of goofy business. You know? Anyway, go on.
That's on the spirit. Matthew 16 and 15. Yahweh Shai speaks to the apostles. He saith unto them, of whom say ye that I am?
You got full charge.
Yeah, that's right.
And Simon Peter answered and said, Thou art the anointed, the Son of the living power. And Yahweh Shai said unto him, Blessed art thou, Simon Bar Jonah, for flesh and blood have not revealed it unto thee, but my Father which is in heaven.
So who confirmed that to him? What Pharisee or what Sadducee confirmed it to him? No, he didn't need that.
Different type of science, man.
Yeah, in the spirit, spiritual science, man.
Spiritual connection.
He just knew. He felt it, in the spirit. He knew that this was the man.
Hey, that's why vocab can't get it, man. He's how do you know who's an Israelite? Listen, brother, we don't have to know who everyone is the Israelites, because I'm not at the door letting people into the chariot. You goofy don. Yeah. That's your problem, because everything for you has to be carnal. Oh, the DNA, the
Records.
we ain't got to do all that DNA. Guess what? Because the preaching of this word is spiritual, and only the elect of Israel are going to receive this word and believe unto the end and be delivered up into them chariots. So a guy can look like one of us and come up, hey, shalom, Mark. And
Yeah.
now,
I mean, like,
okay, I'll take it for what it is. Shalom. Now the Spirit might reveal that this guy ain't right, and then you might watch him, and that happens. The apostles do that. They might watching the guy, this guy ain't right, and then the guy falls out because he weren't right. That's spiritual discernment. But I know one thing is for true. I'm not worried about no agent of Esau. You know why I'm not? You know, we watch out, but we're not worried, because guess what? You think we're gonna be up in the chariot, right?
and he's gonna be there.
And the Edom,
James Bond will
man's
come out
gonna
the
be
back.
there. Man's gonna be there sweating. You know that one? Man, is one sweat. You know them man busting hard sweat. He's like, oh shit! Angels just walking around. You know, man.
Man's dehydrating himself.
Angel like,
Man's body
shalom.
You ripped apart.
Yeah,
in the
come on.
vibrations.
Yeah, come on, man. It don't work like that. You see, but that's because we understand the spiritual nature of what we're dealing with. It's not men.
The Lord knows who are His. Right, so they ain't no one going to be coming around us, or anyone being a part of this thing that's not meant to be here.
There you go.
Anyone that's not meant to be here, even among brothers, is not going to be in the party when the chariots come, man.
But vocab for him is carnal, so he don't get it. He thinks that we're just making it up as we go along and picking and choosing. We're not picking and choosing anything. You have to just trust in the Spirit. You don't. And that's why it's hard for you to grasp the concept of just a simple thing of preaching is going to gather together his elect from the four corners of the earth. Because you're a carnal man. You don't, as a man, yeah, that would be crazy. Like, but how do you know this? And how would you know? No, the Most High knows. He's the one in control.
Our spirit bears witness that we are the sons of the Most High.
There you go.
That's what it's through the Spirit. The Spirit is greater than the carnal or the physical.
So if you believe, keep your convictions. Peradventure, the reason you believe is because it's been given unto you.
Spirit,
If you believe you're an Israelite, then I ain't. Listen,
spiritual gift. Spiritual gift.
If it's been given to you, it's been given to you. I can no man, and guess what? Ain't no one gonna be able to take that belief away from you if it's the Lord the one that's giving it to you.
That's right.
You know?
Yeah. Isaiah 11:2. And the Spirit of the Lord shall rest upon him, the Spirit of wisdom and understanding, the Spirit of counsel and of might, the Spirit of knowledge and of the fear of the Lord, and shall make him of quick understanding in the fear of the Lord. And he shall not judge after the sight of his eyes, neither reprove after the hearing of his ears.
It's not about what we think, or what we feel emotionally and that kind of stuff. It's not about our physical attributes. How everything's done.
Yeah, you know what he tries to make it look like we're so ignorant, so we're like on the level of this doctrine is purely based upon the amount of pigmentation that's in your skin, which that's not what it is, because we know that there's higher spiritual aspect that you have Israelites that have leprosy.
Yep.
You have Edomites that don't have leprosy.
Yeah, they got pigment.
You understand what I'm trying to say? You got Edomites that look like Moabites, but whoever the judgment's supposed to come on, it's going to come on them. Because it's the Lord ultimately that guides the judgment.
And it's going to be based upon what nation they're from.
Yep. Which is a physical thing.
Yeah.
So we're not going to deny that there's a physical aspect, but don't think we're ignorant. So you really believe that if there's a Jake here, let's say you got a Jake and he looks like an Edomite, that he's going to be in slavery with the rest of the Edomites getting whipped. Listen, we're going to be on a whole different level. When you read in the scriptures, man, the Lord had access to the spiritual Google, man, where he actually knew a woman's whole Facebook background before there was Facebook.
Yeah. You had 5 husbands.
The woman of the world, you have 5 husbands.
5 husbands.
How do you know? How do you know that?
Is it a discussion or what is it?
Well, we're putting a video out there, but we're just going to scriptures, man.
You go, he's teaching the scriptures and that.
Which one? New King James or which one?
King
James version.
King James version.
Listen, if the whole world can know that it's just about scriptures and not about what anybody's teaching, then listen.
Yeah, man.
Because what we try and do is we try and interpret the scriptures to suit us.
They want to conform the scriptures to them.
Absolutely. So we've got to let the Holy Spirit to guide us.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right, brother.
So that's what it is.
That's right, man. Bless you,
man. Yeah, man. So yes, how Shai knew. He knew her background. He knew what was going on. She said, "I perceived that thou art a prophet." Straight off the bat. How do you know?
It's just like with Esau's wicked system. If he put information on the computer, he could look you up.
Yeah, database.
But the Lord has that database. The spiritual database is all the knowledge. All the knowledge is up there. Yahweh Shai could tap into that. So what you think in the kingdom, we ain't gonna be able to tap into that too? Oh, this guy is just gonna be an Edomite, but walking around with us. Come on, man. It ain't about it. That's why I'm saying we're not carnal. We're on a higher level of existence, but in the way we think about these scriptures. But
How you see it?
he can't grasp it. So his thing is just that we're just saying anyone, you know, and then he gets confused when we say that, and he can't know how to digest it.
It's like, because what did the say? When Yahweh Shai, they were astonished at his doctrine.
Yep.
These men are baffled. They don't get it. They're astonished. Like they don't understand properly, man. That's why they misinterpret what we're saying sometimes. Because they ain't got no spiritual connections going on up there, man. They can't make sense of it. You know?
This is the book of 10th Matthew 13 and 24. And another parable put he forth unto them, saying, the kingdom of heaven is likened unto the man which sowed good seed in his field, but while men slept, his enemies came and sowed tares among the wheat, and went his way. But when the bread was sprung up, but
Yo, see it there? What did man say just now? What was the precept you read just now? You planted the seed and it sprang up.
yeah.
Hey, the harvest is on. It shows you the harvest is almost here. Man said he planted the seed and it sprung up, and look, the fireworks went off. Because we're almost at the end of this thing, man. You know, this truth is truly out there on a whole different level than when we first came in. A lot more people have come across this word, man.
Yeah.
Telling you, you know what that means? Squeaky bum time for Esau, boy.
But when the blade was sprung up, and it brought forth fruit, then appeared the tares also. So the servant of the household of the householder came and said unto him, Sir, didst not thou sow good seed in thy field? From whence then as it tares? He said unto them, An enemy has done this. The servant said unto him, Wilt thou then that we go and gather them up? But he said, Nay, lest while ye gather up the tares, ye loot up also the wheat with them.
Right. Now the tares, you could bring it on a national level. They could represent the Esau and these other nations. And then the good wheat can represent Israel. But on one level, it can also represent the wicked of our people. Because you got the so-called 2/3, and you got the elect. The elect is that real good wheat. You know what I'm saying? Like, but guess what? If you just went around and as a man and trying to pick people, you might find yourself destroying the elect. That's why we're not even we don't go around like we're in the time of judgment. Oh, you should see a Jake out there now, put man to death. Because we're in a time on the grace, because you don't know that man could be of the elect. You don't know. Everyone comes from in the world. You can't. If you could just go around that dude in the world, just kill him because he's.
Well, what was what you say about offending these little ones, man? You know, you can't just go around doing that, man, because you're not being spiritual to the whole situation.
You might end up destroying the elect. So you gotta let it grow together, and then the angels are gonna reap.
They'll do the
so
thing.
we just go out there, teach the word, and the word is gonna be received by that wheat, by the good ones, and then the angels are gonna gather up the elect, man.
Because we're fishers and men, right? So the word is the bait, right? It's the word that goes forth, man. And if it sinks into a man, then he can be a part of this thing. You know what I'm saying? He believes in it, right? But whether or not he's of the elect is only going to be decided, or has been decided by the Heavenly Father, man. And the angels knows who to come and pick up, to get that right,
I think you say with Saul before when he was Saul before.
Yeah.
And you might have seen him on a carnal level and thought there's no way this guy's gonna. And then Ananias ended up having to give him a sight back.
Because look how he changed.
Yeah. And he wrote the most of the New Testament after that.
Yeah. But that just shows you. That's why it's all in the power of the Lord, man.
I mean, naturally you're gonna be wary of the dude, because everyone was worried, like, what do you mean? Like, man's trying to do something here, man. He's just
scared, man,
sneaky. But no, he genuinely, sincerely changed, man. He believed in Yahweh Shai, properly, correctly.
And it was all spiritual.
Yep. Well, that was just to show the power of the Lord too.
Yeah.
You know, the fact that an enemy of the church was actually converted.
Yep.
You know?
Yep. Yeah, because whoever the Lord wants, He's gonna take, man.
Yep.
You know, they talk about selling your soul. Well, if the Lord wants your soul, you can't sell it. It belongs to the Lord. It will take you, man. If you're meant to be in this thing, the Lord gonna find you, and He gonna take you, man. And you're gonna do what the Lord want you to do. You can't. If you meant to be a man of the Lord and you meant to be a prophet, that's exactly what you're gonna do. Be.
Yep.
You ain't gonna be nothing else.
Jonah's a case. Yeah.
Jonah. Yep.
Couldn't refuse.
And if you ain't, you can't make yourself that. You know what I mean?
Well, you had those trying to buy the spiritual power, man.
Yeah.
About Jesus or whoever it was, man. You know, but it's like, remember, like, what you want?
doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
You had the men that went into the house trying to with a demon, and the demon rebuked them. How shall I know? Paul I know, but who was out?
Yeah. Because all this has to be given by the Heavenly Father, man. You can't take it, you can't buy it. It has to be given, you know, freely.
Yeah, Goofy Don still trying to. If we were to follow this guy vocab, we'd still be celebrating Christmas because they're still trying to justify that crap. Yeah. In 2021, they were still trying to justify celebrating Christmas, and these are the guys that we're supposed to bow down to and admit that they know the scriptures better than us. And when you even got pagans protesting saying they want Christmas back, you got actual pagans protesting saying you Christians stole Christmas from us. And but this guy vocab, we're supposed to follow him. He'd love nothing better than if we just all down tools and say, yeah, vocab, you lead us.
These guys can't even figure out the letter J didn't even exist.
They'll make excuses. They'll make excuses.
Let both grow together until harvest. And in the time of harvest, I will say to the lepers, gather ye together, face the tares, and bind them in bundles to burn them, but gather the wheat into my barn.
Right, and the wheat represents the elect of Israel, man. And the tares represent these other nations and even the wicked of our people. But so you even got, to bring it to what the brother was talking about, among our people, you got people that look like our people that ain't our people, and we understand that. You're gonna have certain man, they might look like Jake, but they could be a Hamite, or they could be a Moabite,
well,
or they could be
these other nations that laid down with these Israelite women.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, produce offspring and that, man. So they look like us, but they're not of us, man.
But guess what?
You know?
Just because they look like us, does that mean that they're gonna receive the spiritual gifts? Because looking like us ain't enough. You gotta be like, you gotta be us.
You have to be of the seed of Abraham.
You gotta be of the seed.
Well, Jacob, right? It has to be
not
that.
just look like you're of the seed. You gotta be of the seed, and then you have to be
of the
chosen.
Spirit.
Yeah,
be of the Spirit too.
But that's too complicated. It just they just want, look, everyone can believe and hail white supremacy. That's all they want. Just keep it simple like that. The white man is God, and everyone can be saved.
So we don't operate like you, man. We're not trying to make believers out of everybody and we accept anybody.
White man is God, but it doesn't matter.
It's never been about that, man. It's about the elect. Because they say this truth isn't even for the large majority of our people, man. The large majority of our people are going to be destroyed. Right? We're really only out here for the elect, the
and that's evident because you can see that there's members of our people, like you brothers and sisters, that's watching the videos and that's learning and that come and take this truth serious, and then you get the rest of them that are caught up in Will and Jada and all that, and they're getting deeper into that. They're getting deeper into it. They're not staying in the same position. They're getting deeper into the madness. That's the men that are going to be destroyed. They're going deeper into the dark realms, whereas the ones that are coming out that see the light and come towards the light, that's different. We see how our people are, man. 2022, you're gonna see more our people doing more madness on the World Star, on the TikTok, on everything. Yeah, caught up in the lives of celebrities, and then when they come across these videos, they're gonna despise it. And nah, that's what's that, man? You know what the new thing's gonna be? How to be rich in. Already I'm getting them videos popping up in my feed. How to be rich in 2022. That's gonna be the motive this year. Everyone's gonna be on that get rich every year. That's what Jake's doing.
It's the same, it's the same thing, but now there's more schemes and more ways to do it.
You're gonna be bombarded with 1 million YouTube adverts about this person can train you how to make this $1 million an hour. and it was
that's how they make their million.
yeah, a million what? a million naira or something. You know what I mean, million Zimbabweans. Anyway, go.
This is the book of Jeremiah, the 44th chapter, verse 10. The Lord rebuking Israel. Man. It says, "They are not humbled even unto this day, neither have they feared nor walked in my law, nor in my statutes that I have set before you and before your fathers. Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, God of Israel, behold, I will set my face against you for evil and to cut off all of Judah." Just real quick, skip it to verse.
Yeah, and the tribe of Judah, man, be doing some bullshit. There's some hard-headed fuckers, man. Hard-headed, man. And then it ain't enough to say, oh, that's what's in the scriptures for them. They don't give a damn about the scriptures, man. All they care about is pussy, money, weed, man. It's sad. That's what they respect. They don't respect the word of the Lord. So when you say, oh, nah, this is the right way because the scriptures say so, they don't respect that. They don't want to hear that.
That's why they need to get jacked up, man. So
that's why the majority of them are gonna be destroyed, man.
Yeah. Verse 15. Then all the men which knew that their wives had burned incense unto other gods, and all the women that stood by, a great multitude, even all the people that dwelt in the land of Egypt and Paphros, answered Jeremiah, saying, As for the word that thou hast spoken unto us in the name of the Lord, we will not hearken unto thee, but we will certainly do whatsoever thing goeth forth out of our own mouth, to burn incense unto the Queen of Heaven, and to pour out drink offerings unto her, as we have done, we and our fathers, our kings and our princes in the cities of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem.
Meaning what? That's meaning we're going to keep doing whatever the hell we want to do, and we don't fear the Lord. And that's the same thing's going to happen to this day. That's why we've been on the streets.
I was saying that because that's been the recipe for disaster for us, man. Because we always turn away from the Lord, and we've always ended up getting jacked up for it. And you know, our people, for the most part, are not learning that lesson yet. You know, but the Lord left a remnant, like the Lord had said. He left a remnant to come and, you know, return back unto Him. You know, so you know, Lord, we're with that remnant, man. And we're going to endure unto the end and be that remnant.
You're gonna get them scoffers and scorners, man, and it's gonna be more than. That's why the scriptures fear not the incredulity of them. You know, because they're gonna not believe, and therefore they're gonna buck up, and whatever philosophy that they're in now. Like you get these boneheaded Mohammedans.
No, brother.
No, brother. No, brother. You don't. Alright, cool, man. If you want to follow that prison religion, that's you. That's fine. You keep doing that, but you're gonna be destroyed. They're gonna no, blah, blah. You know, they're gonna be all on that business, and they don't gonna want to change. They're gonna say, look, I'm gonna continue in this. Okay, then they're gonna be destroyed. Saying that these Christian man, oh, not my Jesus and all that business. Like I saw the video the apostle did when that Christian was debating with Hakar from Sakari, and the dude weren't gonna change. You could see that he was stiff-hearted. He didn't want to know the truth, because the truth is there if you have eyes to see. He was blinded. He wanted to continue in Christianity because he's comfortable in doing that.
Yep.
And the fear of the Lord ain't enough to. Well, the Lord ain't giving him the fear to be like, actually, no, I need to do this. I need to follow what's right. No, he likes celebrating Christmas. He liked the idea that anyone can be saved. Because he likes that idea, he gonna continue to believe in that idea.
He likes pork sandwiches.
He loving it.
So
he loving it.
He don't want to depart from that.
With the sauce and the BLT and you know, with the mayonnaise and he love all that. The hot sauce on there. That's what you want to do. So, but that's how it's gonna be. The majority of our people, when you tell them and you warn them, they're gonna basically turn their ear away from it, and they're gonna want to continue in whatever it is that they're doing already. And you can see that lockdown came. Jake got put in the naughty corner. They had opportunity to sit there and study the scriptures and listen to the Israelites 24/7 because they didn't have to go work.
And get paid.
Yeah. And what did they choose to do? Nothing but folly. Netflix and folly. And then couldn't wait for the lockdown to be over to get back to the madness. And that's what they did. That's what they did. And if man was shanking up man, they went back to shanking man up. If man was selling drugs, they went back to selling drugs. It was just back to it. Overdrive. We're going to go in harder. Yeah, because their cogitation ain't gonna be changed like the Canaanites. They're going to have to be destroyed.
That's it.
Right, but you're gonna get the ones.
Get the spiritual reset.
Get the reset, but you're gonna get the ones that are gonna hear and are gonna fear and are gonna have respect. That's the elect. but they're going to be the few compared to the many, and that's just how it is.
Yeah.
It says,
Oh yeah. Okay.
as we have done, and our fathers, our kings, our princes in the cities of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem. But then we had plenty of victuals and were well and saw no evil. But since we left off to burn incense to the Queen of Heaven and to pour out drink offerings unto her, we have wanted all things and have become consumed by the sword and by famine.
It's going to happen again. You know, the sword and the famine, man. We keep talking about the famine, right? I mentioned a little while, China was holding back their grain sources.
And you know what that shows? That Jake don't want to suffer. If Jake have to suffer, right, in any way, shape or form, like for instance, you come into this truth and you start suffering, you start thinking, well, hold on, I wasn't suffering like this when I was a Christian, so guess what? I'm gonna go back to being a Christian. Yeah, you know what? You can't deal.
Because you think the Most High is judging you because you.
Well, you know what? That's why you can't deal with niggas like that, man. Because whether you suffer or not doesn't dictate that you still got to fear the Lord and do what's right.
Hey, if they come to serve the Lord, prepare themselves for temptation, man.
But they were like, when we worshipped the idols, everything was straight. Was it? Okay, cool. Go on back to do that then. And then what happened?
It says, verse 19, and when we burned incense to the Queen of Heaven and poured out drink offerings unto her, did we make cakes to worship her and pour out drink offerings unto her without our men?
And that's why some people, even now that claim to be Israelites and all that kind of madness, when the pressure come down for the mark of the you know what, right? Enough man are gonna take it. They're gonna be like, right, why am I catching hell? Like,
what?
Yeah, they're gonna feel offended. They're gonna feel offended that the fact that I'm catching hell because I'm choosing to follow this doctrine. But when I was following this doctrine before, if I was still following that doctrine before, I wouldn't be catching hell right now because I'll be right down there, you know, getting.
What's that?
You know all that business, you know?
Parable, man. I thought the sea was put in the stony places. You know,
tribulation come,
yeah, and then they, you know, they didn't want their tribulation, so they went back into the world. They want to go back to where they were comfortable with, you know.
But you got to be ready to face adversity even in this thing.
Yeah.
So
persecution is part of this.
Persecution, yeah.
Lord went through it. We're gonna go through that too, man.
Verse 24. Moreover, Jeremiah said unto all the people and unto all the women, hear the word of the Lord, all Judah that are in the land of Egypt.
Yeah, like you're gonna get a lot of these head wrap bitches. Oh, shalom, brother, and all this business. But when all hell breaks loose, you're gonna get certain of them that are gonna flip back to whatever the hell they were doing before because they're not ready to face persecution. Yeah. Not all of them, but you're gonna have people that's gonna do that. You know, because guess what? They're just not of the elect. You know, if you're of the elect, you're gonna stand firm through persecution.
Yep.
And humble yourself to the pain.
Thus saith the Lord Jehovah of hosts, the God of Israel, ye and your wives have both spoken with your mouths and fulfilled with your hands, saying, we will surely perform our vows that we have vowed, to burn incense to the Queen of Heaven and to pour out drink offerings unto her. You will surely accomplish your vows and surely perform your vows. Therefore hear the word of the Lord, all Judah that dwell in the land of Egypt. Behold, I have sworn by my great name, saith the Lord Jehovah, that my name shall no more be named in the mouth of any man of Judah and the land of Egypt. The Lord, thus saith the Lord Jehovah, that liveth. Behold, I will watch over them for evil and not for good. And all the men of Judah that are in the land of Egypt shall be consumed by the sword and by famine until there be an end of them. Ye shall be yet a small number that escape the sword shall return out of the land of Egypt into the land of Judah, and all the remnant of Judah that are gone into the land of Egypt to sojourn there shall know whose words shall stand, mine or theirs.
There you go. So they decided to go back to that idolatry, and the Lord said, look, I'm going to jack you up. Simple as that. And that goes into all of you that received that marker, the you know what, that still want to worship these idols and belong to these different philosophies. It's still the same thing. In these last days, the Lord is going to jack you up 100% completely. What's going on?
No, it's cool.
And it's better to suffer for the Lord, because ultimately you see that Esau, you can't trust the devil, man. And at the end of the day, really and truly, Esau's victory is just it's a short-lived victory, man. It's written in the very next chapter of Revelation. Revelation's the 14th chapter, man. The judgment for taking his digital all, man.
Which is right here. That technology exists. The infrastructure exists, ready to be rolled out.
Now there's a situation in which they could use it before. You know? So it may come about 2022 that this gets rolled out, man. Lord willing. Yep.
It's a book of Ecclesiasticus 12 and 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like iron lasteth, so is his weakness.
And Esau is our prime enemy. Always has been from the womb. Even before that. He's been our enemy, right? And our enemy is in power. Our enemy has always been in power over us. You know? And now it's time that the Most High, you know, get rid of our enemies. Like he promised he would.
Hey, even these do-gooder Edomites, man. Which some of them do-gooder Edomites are actually Jakes, man. You got certain Edomites from the Bible Belt that they might be like, oh, they want to do good and they want to help Jake. But some of them, the reason they're actually Israelites, man. You know, they're scattered among them other. But some of these do-gooder Edomites, right? They don't want to be the enemy, but guess what? They're gonna be the enemy in the end.
Yeah.
They're gonna turn on you, Jake, because it's in their nature.
They say they should complain about ungodly father. So they don't want to take the blame of what things have happened in the past. They want to turn over new leaf, so to speak, but they can't. The Lord's not going to allow them to turn over no new leaves, man. You're going to go into the pit with the rest of your kin.
They're going to be killing Jakes. You know that man with the soup kitchen? They're going to start. I don't want to have to do this. Start killing up. Yeah, because if you're the enemy, man, even if you don't want to be the enemy, you're going to end up being the enemy anyway.
That's the part he was made
meant
for.
To be the devil, man. To just play your role, man.
Right? And the enemy, you know, he's about lies, man. And that's why you can't trust this dude, man, because he's manipulating the minds of all the people. You know? That's what he's doing.
Yeah, wasn't it? What was that movie? The fucking was it Crash? Was it Crash? When he was driving it, he was the cop that wasn't racist. I know there's a movie Crash. You got to watch that film. Nah, it's a different one. But basically, his partner was fucking racist, and he abused like this black woman or whatever, and he was a racist cop, and he was meant to be the cop that wasn't racist, right? But then by the end of the film, he was in the car with he picked up this Jake, like hijacking. What? No, not hijacking. What's it called? Hitchhiking. Okay. So he picked up the Jake and he's driving with the Jake in the car, and the Jake was like trying to get something out of his pocket, yeah. And he just blew the Jake away, like because by then he you gotta watch the film, but basically he was the guy that was not racist and judgmental. But by the end of the film, he ended up being like that way. Yeah. And so he shot the Jake because the Jake was trying to get something out of his pocket, and he was like, "Don't move! What are you doing?" And he was like, "I'm just getting. Nah, it's cool. I'm just getting this thing out." Like, boom! Blew him away, and then the Jake was like, and it was like some little toy or something, and the guy was like, and he just rolled the Jake out the car and then just drove off. But that's these Edomites, man. In the end, they're gonna just play their role, man. But that shit was funny, man. That was a sick film. Because he was the one that was meant to be the do-gooder Edomite, man, and he ended up fucking blowing Jake away, man. But anyway, yeah, good film.
On mispreconceptions.
Hey, but you can't trust Jake, man. Go on.
Though he humble himself and he go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hadst wiped a looking glass.
Right, because you had one of them goofy celebrity dons talking about, oh, why would Bill Gates want to kill me? Like, I'm like, yo, my nigga, it's not you personally. Yeah. Yo, what's wrong with you? But you see, a lot of these Jake don't understand that there is an entity that don't rate you. That
it's not concerned about you.
Yeah, maybe not you. You know what I mean? Specifically that, like, by name, because you're not a name to them.
You're just an object in a way.
Yeah, you're just a part of a group that they don't like. They don't have to personally not like you. It's like, well, I don't see why Bill Gates would. Bro, the guy's a eugenicist.
No, the point is he don't care about you.
You know, he said Bill Gates don't care about me enough to want to actually kill me. Like, I'm that's dumb. Like, Like,
If you don't care about your existence, if you're dead or alive, you don't matter to him.
Like-
so if he wants to kill you, he'll kill you. You don't care.
it's just stupid. But it's because he doesn't realize that there are forces, organized forces higher than him that orchestrate to destroy him and his people every day. He doesn't understand that. He doesn't understand that. For him, it's just like he's used to the hip hop. So his only enemies is like other Jakes that know him by name. Yo, and point him out in the street and run him down. That's his idea of an enemy.
No, but Esau's so cold. Esau's so cold, man. You're just numbers, man, in the system for him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you're just
like,
he ain't gonna personally hate you. He's just another. He's
just hateful in general. He's just hateful. You know what I'm saying? You don't care.
253.
He's too cold. Like he's too cold. He lecture you in a moment. You don't give a shit.
But when you hate a whole group of people, you ain't gonna specifically hate
Pick anyone
a
out.
particular name, man. Come on,
anyone.
man. But you should know that through history.
Yeah,
But you see this guy, that's Jake, man. Jake in a whole different
Mentality.
So that's why he went and took the thing.
Because we're enemies personal for him, innit? As an enemy, you know? Because he's got personal enemies. But you don't understand on a global, on a national scale.
National enemies.
Yeah, you don't understand that.
Because that's not recorded in history at all.
No, well, but even our people are not really national. We ain't got our own nation, but we're just we're living in other people's lands. You know what I'm saying? So we don't even got the concept of being national. No
being a Negro in America, you should know.
Yeah, you by now.
And these niggas are stupid. That's just the way you have to put it. He's lazy and he don't want to think about it.
Don't want to put the things together.
You know what I mean? He just want to listen, man. I want to link up with some pussy and that's that. He don't want to think about it. Simple-minded niggas, man. Childish niggas. And that's really what it comes down to. Niggas is childish and they don't want to deal with anything that's halfway serious. That's deeper than the normal level of stupidity.
Things are actually important.
Anyway, go on now. How do you say that? So you just run and take it.
And thou shalt know that his lust has not been altogether wiped away.
Right, a lot of our people think Esau's changed or Esau's changing. Like, or he's moved on and things are better.
How much time do you want to give this nigga, man?
You know?
You know what I mean? How long do you want to give Esau?
Oh, you know, they don't like how they used to be.
But you made the point about the old day Christians, right? The Puritans and them guys, man. They're meant to be God-fearing men. You know, they're meant to be in that love everybody's spirit. But guess what? They weren't. They're out there killing people.
Yep.
Right? And because you say love thy neighbor, love everybody now, you think that you sound like different. You're saying the same things they were saying.
But you see, they're raised up, and the problem is that when you consume American media, the American media paints the American Edomite as being good overall. So even if they show you an evil Edomite in America, there's a group of righteous Edomites that's trying to stop them, and when in reality there isn't. They're all evil. There's no good Edomites trying to stop. There's just evil Edomite A and evil Edomite B, and they might have a B.
That's an evil.
Yeah, there's no like, because when you watch a movie, what do they show you? The CIA is trying to stop CIA drug dealers, man. Like, there is, you know what I mean? Like, there is no, but you know, you grow up watching, even if you watch cartoons, you got Captain America, and he stands for everything that's good. Oh, so there must be some good Edomites.
You know, the righteousness of America.
Yeah, but this is lies.
You know?
Or Superman and but, you know, just things you might watch. The popular media is witchcraft. It puts that mindset in your mind. So even when you're watching programs showing Esau being racist back then, it's kind of like putting into your mind that, oh, there are Edomites that are against allies, that are good, that are, you know, and it's the majority, and it's things are changing when it's not really the truth. It's at all. So that's why they think Biden is, you know, is for them, or you know,
whatever.
That's why they're voting Democrat, because they think them are the good Edomites. Oh, bro, you lost your mind. Enemies, man.
He Biden said if you don't vote for him, you're not black.
What a statement. he's made some crazy statements, you know, over the last years, you know, a couple of years.
Yeah, but you know what, he was right. Because that is what a black person would do. They would vote for Biden automatically, regardless of.
Because you're dark, you're in the darkness.
Right, man. I got this.
Oh, is that what you finished?
Do Deuteronomy, just real quick, man. Deuteronomy 17 and 15. Thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee, whom the Lord Yahweh shall choose. One from among thy brethren shalt thou set king over thee. Thou mayest not set a stranger over thee, which is not thy brother.
Right, and that goes also into Jeremiah the 30th chapter, that it says our nobles shall be of ourselves. Because right now we got nobles, right? But all our nobles are part of this fraternity. They're all batty boys, man. We from Dubois to Marcusai, Garvey, yeah, to Bob Marley, to Che Guevara, what's his name? Che Guevara, whatever the fuck his name is, man. Right? To Al Sharpton, to Jesse Jackass, Noble Drew Ali, and when you really break it down, of Jay-Z and Jordan, these are really all our nobles. Let's be honest. You got a lot of high-end Negroes that are in politics and that are down south. They're like pillars, you know, because you got a lot of them. Don't think you don't have. You have got a black nobility even in America, just like in the islands. You got on the islands. You got certain families in the islands, like in Montserrat. You got the Brants. You got certain families that they were always into politics. They owned most of the businesses. They would be what you call nobility. They're the chief ones that everyone else listens to and follows. Like, so when Esau wants to do something, he just get these niggas to co-sign it. Why do you think they roll these niggas out every time there's a presidential election? Because they know if you see Cardi B and Jay-Z and these guys with the candidate, okay, yep. If you see Jesse Jackass with them and Al Sharpton and what's that other dude's name? Farrakhan.
Yeah.
But guess what you find out? All these niggas are boule. These niggas are boule. They're part of the fraternity. They're literally set up by Esau, and a lot of them is family lines that go back generations. They've been chosen by Esau. They're all part of these family lines that have been chosen by Esau to play particular roles within the so-called black community. And even when they're talking out against Esau, they're really they're controlled
Insiders.
opposition. They're insiders, like Martin Lucifer King, boule. And then they start bringing in more and more because you guys are so influenced by sports persons. Now a lot of these sports persons are boule, like LeBron, Steph Curry, and Will Smith. And then you start seeing them doing freakiness like open marriages. That's because they're part of that freaky, deaky world, man.
Making them covenants of death.
You know what I'm saying? Steph Curry and all that stuff, and the higher 3-point, whatever. He's manufactured as well. All these guys are manufactured, and so we're following these people as leaders, as pillars in the community. But they're really working for Esau. They're not for you. They're not even for themselves. Their job is to serve Esau, and as long as
they got no fucking backbone.
They got no backbone. And as soon as if they cross Esau, they know. Listen, everything that you've amassed, all the wealth that Esau's giving you and all the prestige will go out the window. You're gone. It's over for you.
These man don't push too hard.
Oh no, they're not.
Don't push too hard,
if you see them coming up against, usually it's because Esau said, I want you to play this role. You're gonna play this role right now.
You're gonna make this statement.
You're gonna make that statement, and so that we can make these niggas think that you're giving it some kind of righteous. But really, he's part of the whole thing. The only ones out here that are genuine, 100% in the spirit, are the Israelites, because we're the apostles. We're not boule. We don't got no Edomite telling us what to say.
We're not controlled opposition or nothing like that.
And that's why we're not on TV. That's why you don't see us on TV, on CNN, giving an hour special to speak our truth.
Even when what's it called? George Floyd died, man. They had LeBron James come out, and he was the spokesperson for BLM, and all of a sudden, like, you had Nike and.
Where is he now?
You know.
Where's he now? What's he got to say on it now? See? He's, you know, because they roll them out when it's necessary for specific things, and then they go back to what you were doing before. So these dudes, these boule members, have always been there, right? But the time's gonna come. In fact, let's get that Jeremiah, I believe it's Jeremiah 30 down the bottom. The nobles. We're gonna have our nobles and our nobles are not gonna be puppets
Yeah.
for other nations. They're gonna be sovereign men that serve Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, and that's the leadership that we're gonna have. The 144,000. Right now we got the 144 Boule members that's running the nation. No, we don't have no Boule dudes. It's disgusting.
Even with
P
that-
Diddy.
Yeah. So like I was gonna say, even with that initiative, they pushed it like they were gonna be funding Jake and lower economic skills, giving families donations. All them families
what
got
they
shit.
done?
They just built mansions. Those the alphabet gang that run it
So what have they done?
built
They've done nothing
mansions,
for them,
holiday homes.
you know?
And you might find that them women, when you check them, they're related to certain. That's how it is. It's all Boule shit going on, man. If you don't know about the Boule, do your research. They're the gatekeepers. I mean, it was Elder Yashawama put me onto that. They call them, they're the gatekeepers of Esau's world, man. You know?
Yeah, those that can be down for the cause.
Yep. They be going down for the cause, right?
This is Isaiah
Taking the hard shots. There you go.
9 and the 16. For the leaders of these people call them to earth, and they that are read of them are destroyed.
Right. Oh, we forgot to mention the super pastors. These super celebrity pastors like Creflo Dollar, and they're all Boule. These niggas is Boule. And then what you'll find is their children will be super pastors too, because it will go in a line.
Family, yeah.
You know,
But they're not all juiced in. It's a family name. all
family
juiced
gets
in now.
juiced into the fraternity.
Just take over, continue on.
You know,
Because now you can trust that family. Because they've established
they've
themselves.
established themselves. Yeah, the fraternity there. That's what it is, man. It's sad, man. It's sad, but that's just how it is. But see, the Lord is. Them leaders are gonna be destroyed anyway. They're gonna go down with Esau. You got that in Jeremiah?
Jeremiah
Is it in
so-
Jeremiah 30? It said yeah, that's it. Yeah, Jeremiah 30. Yeah, it might be in Isaiah as well.
This is it. Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 2. Yeah, verse 21. It says, and their nobles shall be of themselves.
Right, the nobles are gonna be of ourselves. We're gonna have our own nobles, aka shepherds. Because a noble is supposed to be like a great family or great men among our people that you can look to as not only example. That's what they said. He acted in noble. Like a noble family is not just about having money. A noble family would have money.
Well, the name
But-
would imply that they're righteous characters. You know?
Yeah.
They're good people.
In fact, look up the word noble.
It ain't
I
meant to
think
be just
I
about
told you.
money
Yeah.
or prestige. It's about to be that they're all right people, you know?
Like what's his name would be considered that. From the book of Maccabees.
Oh, Mackey's family.
Yeah, what's his name?
Judas,
Yeah, Judas's father was
Judas's father was
Matthias.
no?
Is it Matthias?
Mm,
Oh man.
I'll find it.
But he would have been a noble. And then what did they try to do? They tried to boule him. They tried to put man in the boule and do a false flag and say, oh well, okay, just pretend to eat the pork. You know? Because why?
Eliezer.
Is it Eliezer or were they from the line of Eliezer?
I'll look at them.
Oh no, they were from the line of Phineas, weren't they?
Is it Matthias, yeah?
Yeah, it should be in number 2, chapter 2.
Yeah, Matthias.
Matthias and his sons, yeah.
Yeah, Matthias, right. Now he was a leader, the people looked up to him, right? And there's power in that because when you got a leader, someone people look up to, people normally follow their example. So they was like, yo, you know, okay, come yam up this pork. Because if we go to these individual people and we put pressure on them, we're gonna get resistance. But if they see you do it, then boy, that'll soften them up. They're like, okay, well if he's a great man, if he did it, then we can follow him. Right? So that's an old tactic that's been done many a time. When the conquistadors went over to Mexico, what did they do? They didn't kill all the nobles from the Jake nobles. There were certain nobles that they basically kept to be overseers over their own people and intermarried with them as well. Why? Because they know that, you know, it's easy. Yeah, you're usurping. Easier for them to follow these lot. Yeah. So they tried to boule Matthias, but he was like, nah, like I'm not gonna do that. I have some integrity. If these people are looking up to me, I gotta do the right thing. Nah, not these Jay-Z and these niggas, man.
Yeah.
These niggas do whatever Esau tell them to do.
Even if it led to death.
Yeah,
It's the right thing to
he was
do.
ready to die, but nah, not these guys are not leaders. And I'm telling you, there's niggas that hang on every word. That I knew niggas that worship Jay-Z, and he's a rapper, but he is a noble. He's got businesses, he's got money, he's got prestige. He's a noble. Among our people, he is a fucking noble. And man's listen to him, listen to his interview, like, like, what's Jay-Z? Oh, Jay-Z said, yeah, like, that's what you got to do. So if Jay-Z come, if they tell Jay-Z, like, go out there and take this chip, then niggas gonna be like, yeah, I'm gonna be down with that.
Yeah, promote it. Yeah, just like they were doing with the whole Max situation at the beginning.
Yep.
You know, they're having all these celebrities, you know, out there saying, yeah, do the right thing.
Yeah. They brought back
Take the
Cuba now
thing,
and
you know?
then.
Do the right thing, take the thing. You know, you know, and they're gonna do it again. They will do it again.
Yeah, these Boule members, they always play a part, man.
Yeah, or even so like with the Jews, I remember they had all that high-profile sports personalities of the Northern Kingdom as well. Like they had Messi talking about, yeah, man, for the sake of your children, your family, you should get the. You know, they had Ronaldo pushing it.
Even Joshua let us down, man.
Yeah, well, that dude can't even fight no more. How they've ripped the legs off that guy, man.
Yeah.
Because he ain't come from nothing, man. And the money, they threw the money at him, and he sold his soul, blood. That's why you see man getting manicure and pedicure. It's a joke thing, man. But yeah, he done sold out, man. You know, he's juiced in. It is what it is. Even Fury, he was meant to be rebelling. That's why he left, and he come back now. He's fully on the game now. He sold his soul completely. You know, innit? He left, and then now all of a sudden he come back and he getting all the opportunities. So you already know, because even boxing, it's not just about being the best boxer. When you get to a certain level, especially when you're getting up to the level of a heavyweight champ, bro, you think you ain't got to make a few fucking deals behind the back to get those opportunities? That's what it is. Dillian White, he's stubborn. Like Dillian, you're gonna have to. They want you to do something before you get the opportunity, mate.
Prove your worth. Prove yourself. Not in the ring.
Yeah, Boule's out there, man. But you still got more Jeremiah?
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah, Jeremiah, man. Yeah, so for a long time, Esau's been using false leaders among our people to lead them astray, and to even leaders that look like they were coming against Esau, it was still Esau's controlling them. But now the Lord is setting up shepherds according to his mind, men of the Lord, to come out and lead the people the right way. And that's the beginning of a new government, a righteous government, which is going to tell the people the truth and lead them in the way which is right, and not take bribe, yeah, and not take tellings from Esau, Edom, because we don't want Esau's money. Esau come right now with a check for $1 billion, man, telling us to teach the wrong thing. Listen, I'll take the billion, but I'm still gonna. But we ain't gonna teach the wrong thing for Esau's sake. Fuck Esau, man. You better off dying than doing that. Oh, come out now. Oh, by the way, nice, you could eat pork. Nah. Allow it, start.
It could never be allowed.
Yeah, Esau to keep his money and his threats, because he's going into slavery anyway. He's gonna be destroyed. But you see, they'll do anything for that Skrilla, man.
Just a quick one before we come back there. It's Jeremiah 3 verse 15. It says, I will give you pastors according to mine heart. Okay, that are going to come in the word and name of the Lord. Okay, again, that name is an important thing. Because
a pastor goes back to sheep, right? So I think it must go back to a shepherd, yeah.
You know, so they're going to come in the name and in the spirit and the will of the Heavenly Father, man. They're not after their own minds and their own wills, you know, what they think, what their opinion is. Because any time these so-called nobles should speak, it should come out of the scriptures, man.
Yep.
It should be coming out of the scriptures, but they don't do that. It's got nothing to do with the scriptures.
Some Esau thing, and it always leads you down the wrong path. When you really break it down, it's leading you down the wrong way.
Yep.
Like to get you to invest in America. Like most of these when you're dealing with, or even here in Britain, they all really, when you come down to it, are trying to get you to invest yourself in this world, rather than invest yourself in the scriptures and the world to come.
So you can't serve two gods, man. They want you to commit yourself to this world, to their god, you know, Esau.
Like David Lammy and what's that dude, the nigga Lammy, the black MP dude.
Yeah.
Him and Harriet, what's her name?
Something.
What's her name? It's the other one.
Harriet. the one that can't count. I don't know.
Yeah, and every now and again they'll do something like black people in this country. Man, first of all, the reality of the matter is that so-called Negroes in Britain make up less than 3% of the population. We're a fucking minority, so straight away, it doesn't matter what we vote for, what we do, we're the minority. We're an extreme minority. We should just understand that. If you had any sense, you would come out and tell these Jake, listen, you ain't never gonna be British. You're a super minority. Stop trying to be on the TV as more than anyone else because you're not gonna be. Yeah, it's not your country. Like, get a job if you can, make what money you can to survive, right? And believe in the Lord. That's what they should be telling them. But they keep trying to, you know what I mean, make it like we're fighting for rights and fighting for this, and when all of it comes to nothing anyway. All them little things where he's arguing in the parliament and no, this is racist and not. What changes? Nothing.
This is the thing that this whole time Jake is begging Esau for, you know, to better the standards or whatever, but they don't come to beg for the Lord.
We're not British, man. We're not British. The only reason why you Negroes think you're a significant part of this country is because you live in areas where you all are. We literally are less than 3% of the UK's population. We're like insignificant to these people. Just because you're all in Hackney and you run into each other every day, leave Hackney and go outside London. Go down Portsmouth or all these other areas in England. Hardly any of us there. But you see, you've got these false leaders that's leading you to invest in Britain and you can be a part of it and you're equal. No, we're not equal. We're 3% of the population. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're lucky you had fucking one man on the TV. Forget all that, man.
Trevor McDonald.
Lenny Henry. That's why these Edomites are getting vexed. So they're like, hold on. How come you having all these black presenters on TV? These men are overrepresented now. And they're just pissing off these Edomites.
What are you doing, young men?
Hey, right. We're just teaching the Bible.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. That's really weird because as I left, I saw you all, and I wanted to come over, but I wasn't sure if you was live.
Yeah.
But I just came off of an American sermon, and yeah, it's very powerful what you're doing. It's good to see that young black men are doing this.
Yeah, that's right.
Very, very, very happy to see this. And on New Year's Day, it's a very, very special time to be out and about doing that because the devil is a liar.
Oh yeah.
Trust me, he's out here.
It's facts.
And you know, there's a lot going on that people don't understand spiritually that they need to be aware of. What church do you belong to?
Well, we're the Israelites.
Okay.
We're Israelites, so we I don't know if you've heard of us, but Hebrew Israelites.
Right.
So we go out on the street, you know, in America, in England,
yeah,
and we just teach the scriptures and bring out the prophecies for the end of this kingdom.
So evangelism.
Yeah, that's basically what we do. We do evangelism, yeah. And we teach that, you know, the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, Native American Indians, that they're the lost tribes of Israel.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we teach the coming of our Lord coming soon.
Are you from this area, or you just?
Yeah, we're all from London. We're all from London.
All from London.
Yeah.
No, it's really good to see. Honestly, have you had a lot of people coming to pray for you today?
Couple. Yeah.
Out of interest, what background? Varied.
Yeah.
Young and old.
Different, yeah.
Keep doing what you're doing, guys. It's amazing to see. Honestly, that's from my heart. I honestly respect and, you know, appreciate what you're doing. I don't know how often you go out and do it, but it's just really like, even now I want to cry because it's a good thing to see. You're not just out on the streets, you know, smoking weed, riding a bike, you know, and it's okay. People lose their way, people do that. People don't understand. Even me, for one, I'm nearly 50 years old. You know, I wouldn't say I lost my way, but I didn't dive into it as deep as what I should have from an early age. So you all look younger than me. You all look like, you know, you're of the age that it's a good time to be doing this. I don't know how long you've been doing it, but keep doing what you're doing, and it's not a lost cause.
No, the word must get pushed, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the word must get pushed.
Absolutely. And this time of year, Halloween, Christmas, New Year, I'm sure you know, it's all a pagan
it's all
thing.
pagan,
that's right.
Okay, and this time of year is the time that the spiritual warfare is at its highest.
that's what we're hoping, man.
That is highest. So
Yeah.
keep preaching, keep putting that good word out, keep telling people because the time is coming.
That's right, man.
The time really is coming, and if people are not saved, sad. It's going to be a sad state. I mean, none of us, we don't know what that is going to look like. But I want to be on the right side.
That's right. That's
Not
right.
the wrong side.
That's why we'll do our best.
Yeah, absolutely. So keep doing what you're doing. I respect that.
All right, thank you. You have a good
Yeah,
night.
it is, yeah.
Take care. All right, man. Keep going, man.
Yeah, so this is back. Yeah, back in Jeremiah 3 verse 15 says, "I will give you."
Normally we don't get food. You know.
No, it's today it's been a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, the Jeremiah 3 verse 15 says, "I will give you pastors according to mine heart, which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding." And that's what we're here to bring you, the understanding and knowledge. You know, beginning of our orders and apostles, man, that taught us. You know, all we're doing is sharing the information that was given to us, man, through the Spirit. You know, and giving you the breakdowns, man, letting you know what time you're in. You know, telling you the signs that you need to be watching out for, because we're in that time of the signs being, you know, coming to pass, man. To know where we are in terms of prophecy.
We're aware of something.
Yeah,
Because like you never know, like people walking into a scene, they might go home tonight and then see a video.
Yeah.
Like, oh, but I just ran into some dudes like this today. Like, oh,
yeah.
So it's all spiritual, man.
Yeah, because like I said, we're in those end moments right now. He saw that in his kingdom. Like I said, we're talking about the time today, right? The time is now. The time is now.
Cena.
All right, everything's coming into play. You know, this place is falling apart. Right, and you know, even you know, the lady here, that you know that, you know, things are getting tense. You know, the spiritual warfare, right? It's going to get amped up. You know, the time of Jacob's trouble is coming. You know, so we all got to be aware.
Holy Spirit told me to come and tell you guys or ask you, have you got a card? Have you got an online platform?
Yeah.
What are you doing? How can I find you?
Well, on YouTube, like most of our groups, we go by GMS, Great Millstone.
Great Millstone.
Yeah.
On YouTube, right?
Yeah.
I'll just give her a channel.
And I can
Yeah. You know,
Leave a comment.
as I said, you know, these things that we're here as part of the Most High's grand plan and design. We're all playing our roles in that, and whoever that we're meant to interact with and affect and move in a particular way. That's how it works, man. You know, so that's why we got to be out on the street. Not everything is on you know, sitting indoors, you do videos, but not everything's, you know, done there. The Lord commands us to come out in the streets, you know, for times like this. You don't know who you're going to meet, who the Lord sends your way. You just don't know.
This is the book of Isaiah 30 and 20. And though the Lord give you the bread of adversity and the word of affliction, yet shall not thy teachers be removed into a corner anymore.
Right, so we're meant to be seen, okay? We're meant to be heard, okay? And you know, people hear us, they don't like what we got to say most of the time. But that's for them, you know. They ain't meant to receive it, okay? But the elect, the men that are, you know, men and women that are meant to hear and receive this, man, they're gonna acknowledge it, man. You know, and though we're change for the better, change for, you know, the way the most I want to, you know, have them be, you know.
Take care.
Bye-bye. God bless.
Yet shall not thy teachers be removed into a corner anymore.
That's the spirit, man. Yeah. See that's the spirit. We just literally just said that. That the spirit might run into us, and then the spirit might say,
yeah, you know, come back early.
She said this. She said the spirit told us to ask.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, because the demons are out there heavy, but you know what? They're not going to hinder the elect from receiving this word, man.
No.
You know, that's why we got to stick. She said, like, look, even like today, she's right. We, no matter what time it is, we'll make sure that we're always out there to push this vibration out there, to push this word. Because we could have been like the people in the world that would take, it's New Year's Day, we're going to take the day off. Nah, like, we didn't take, it was Christmas Day when we was out here, you know what I'm saying? Doing what we got to do. Because none of that don't matter to us anyway.
No.
We just got to come out here and keep teaching and keep pushing this word, and it's all going to come together beautifully, man. You know? And you never know. He might even be for her. Maybe she got a husband and he be like, oh yeah, I saw these guys today, and then he start, you know what I'm saying? Like, so you don't know how the Lord do things.
She could be one of the ladies and all this kind of stuff.
You never know.
You know?
Well, the scripture says we've made the manifest the knowledge of the Most High in every place. You know, the sweet savor unto them that are saved, You know, and the sweet savour unto them that are not saved. One unto life and one unto death. So that's how it's going to be. But that's spiritual because she come riding back up, man. You know? Crazy.
That's it.
Mad thing.
And though that the Lord give you the bread of adversity and the water of affliction, yet shall not thy teacher be removed into a corner anymore.
So even though we receive persecutions and that, man, but guess what? We've been out here receiving those persecutions. You know, we've all kinds of people threatening life and all kinds of stuff.
Been arrested.
Brothers been arrested, some brothers been killed, you know?
Man took our post, man.
They took our post.
Hey, there wasn't even nothing wrong. Like, they
No, they
we
weren't.
didn't even get charged yet. They still took our posters, man.
Yeah, man. But yeah, so, you know, we've received a little bit of that. But the time of real persecution is about to come. You know, the time of Jacob's trouble was about to be upon us, man. Okay? And you know, we might be out here for a certain amount of time, but there's gonna be a time when we're not gonna be out here.
Well, there was a time when we kind of wasn't out there on the street like that.
That's true.
And then there's a time when we won't be on the internet.
Yep.
You know?
But it's getting difficult. It's getting more difficult. I was, you know, talking to the brother on the way up here, man. Like, I've set up a BitChute account. I've got an Odyssey account. I've got like 3 YouTube accounts. Yeah, but I'm finding it difficult now because like them man are striking on YouTube, but Odyssey and BitChute. To be honest, me personally, not been having much joy out of it. You know, it's been a bit difficult trying to upload videos on that, and even watching certain videos and that.
In a minute, we've got to do a collection to set up our own web service and Starlink.
Yeah.
Starlink.
You know, of course, all the money will go towards building the rockets. You know how them niggas do that. You better have that church fund, man. Nah, I just need this BMW to drive.
But thine eyes shall see thy teachers, and thine ears shall hear the word behind thee, say, this is the way, walk ye in it.
That's right.
When you turn to the right hand, and when you turn to the left.
That's right. Be guided by these words in everything that you do. Right? And this wisdom and this knowledge is going to help you in these last days to make the right decisions, to move accordingly. Because the way we're going to be moving is going to be different to the people that's in the world, because they're wicked. We're going to be moving under the spirit of the fear of the Lord, man, in righteousness in these last days. And through that, the Lord is going to protect us, man, through all these things. Whereas these people are going to be motivated by the flesh and fall into destruction. Case in point, run go take run go take the mark. Oh, how are we going to eat? Asking all these bag of questions and run go take the mark and still don't eat. Yeah. Because why? They ain't guided. Whereas we're telling you straight off the bat, listen, no matter what happens, even unto death, stay away from that mark, because that mark is death. That's a promise. That's a promise from the. I know one thing, the truth. If you don't take the mark, you got a chance, right? But guess what? If you take that mark, it's a promise. The Lord made a promise. He said, listen, you're gonna be destroyed. Now, if you don't believe in the Lord and you don't have His fear, then obviously, yeah, you know, by all means, you're gonna do that.
Hebrews 12:7. If you endure chastening Yahweh, why Yahweh shall dealeth with you as sons. For what son is he whom the Father chasteneth not? But if ye be without chastisement, whereof all are partakers, then are ye bastards and not sons.
Right, that's something you have to understand when you come into this truth, right? You have to understand that yes, the Lord promised, the Lord is gonna keep you, right? The Lord is gonna provide for you, and the Lord will lay up rewards and treasures for you in the kingdom. However, that doesn't mean that you're not going to face persecution or hardship. Yeah? And just because you think, oh, I'm doing the right thing now, I deserve. You got to take that word "deserve" out of your vocabulary. You don't deserve anything. So coming in this is truth. You don't start comparing yourself to people in the world and saying, oh, this dude's doing this and he's getting that, and I'm actually doing the work. So that means I should be. It don't work like that. You know what I'm saying? The Lord chastain you to prove you, to see whether you will do, whether you receive good or evil, whether you will do, just like Job. Whether Job received good or evil, Job retained his integrity.
That's right.
Because the Lord ain't looking for them fair weather Israelites, man.
Yeah. Doing it just because you're receiving.
Yeah, them bandwagonness.
But that's what Satan was trying to say. He's only abiding by you because you've given him the hedge and all these blessings, man. But take them away, he'll curse you to your face. But Job never did that.
Take his integrity.
And that's how we gotta be. You know, we're not meant to be comparing ourselves. Oh well, I should be doing this by now and doing this, man. We don't. This is not our turn. This place is not for us, man.
And that's how you know. Even the scriptures tell you that's how you know a true friend. It says a friend cannot be known in prosperity.
That's right. Yeah.
Just ask these niggas, man. You know what them dudes get money, and all of a sudden they got a bag of friend. Everybody's phoning their phone, and then as soon as them the money's gone, no one ain't phoning your phone no more.
I remember there was a video that was going around, yeah. I must have some sort of rapper, yeah, and his friend had him in the back of the car, innit? And you found out that he stole money from his wallet from the yard or something, man. It wasn't even that much, innit? But it was principle, innit? Like you couldn't just ask me. You had to steal money from my wallet. Like, how do you think that makes me feel? You know what I'm saying? Because like you can't just, like, these guys, man, they're working on a different fucking wavelength, man. You know what I mean? These Jay's gone.
A guy can be with you because of the things he's getting from you.
Yep.
And then as soon as you can't get them things, you find out that he's out the door, like a gold digger. But that's not, no man, that's not a true friend. A true friend is going to be with you in the trenches, you know? Regardless of what's going on, they're going to stay true. They're not going to dare to profit. To leech off the drinks, you get me? When the drinks run out, man disappear, innit?
More Jake family.
The man with the bill.
Oh man, man turn up at your funeral to get what they can get. Yeah,
That's mad.
Get the
One
TV.
And you know that's like, you know, you go, you know, been a funeral, a couple of funerals and that. You know, some guys are just there for that.
Yeah,
You can tell, like, they don't give a shit. You know what I mean? Free food and drink, innit?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Want to check out the life insurance money?
Yeah, man.
So the Lord's looking for loyalty, the loyal ones, man. And at the end of the day, we don't deserve, just because you start following the Lord, what the hell does that mean? You done a lifetime of nothing but wickedness, yeah, and you start following the Lord for like a year, and all of a sudden you deserve to be a billionaire, and everything has to go your way.
We got a lot to make up for. That's the thing. We got a lot to make up for.
We're gonna be riding on.
We ain't nothing but sinners at the end of the day. We're sinners at the end of the day, man, and we need to kind of make up for that. You know, like Paul, he made up for his crimes. You know, coming against the church. He served this all the rest of his life.
Yeah.
You know, went through all kinds of madness. To make up for all of that, man. And because the Lord said my mercy is sufficient for thee when he was jacked up and shit.
You're gonna be jacked to the.
You know, so that's how it is, man. We don't deserve anything really, right?
It's mercy.
It's the mercy,
Lord,
the blessing of the Heavenly Father that He, you know, decides to do such a thing to us, man. But understand that we're not going to see that until we get to the kingdom.
And the chastaining we go through is to build us up, it's to strengthen us, man. So like I said, it's just chastaining, man. You know what I mean? It's gonna end up good for us in the end.
Because again, we need refining. We need to be refined because we're not perfect, right? We need to be refined. We need to be worthy. Because remember, we've been married to Yahweh Shai. It can't be any dirty hole, bro. You know what I'm saying? We have to be refined, right? So we have to be proven and be made worthy to have such an honor.
Even discipline. It teaches you discipline, innit? Like to go out there and still do something when you don't feel like it is the ultimate discipline. It's easy. It's always easy when, you know, when it's easy. It's just like righteousness. Righteousness is easy when it's easy, innit? But when it's hard, that's when it really counts. When the pressure's on. You know what I'm saying? Like that's when the integrity matters. It's obviously if it's easy and it's nothing to you, then you know what I mean? But when it's a hard choice, but you still make that hard choice even at your own cost, that counts, man. That counts big time.
That's why that crunch time is gonna be the hour of temptation, when that MOTB is there.
Yeah, pressure.
Because you're gonna be deciding who you worship at that point in time.
It's not gonna be nice. It's not gonna be nice, man.
Nope. And that's why we have to pray for the strength, and, you know, the faith to push through all that, man. You know. So yeah, it's not gonna be an easy choice at the time, because you're gonna be in hell. You know, you're gonna be feeling all kind of jacked up. You know, but the Lord's gonna reward the ones that were faithful. Right, those that shall draw into the end, the same shall be saved.
Hey, the brother posted a scripture, Ecclesiastes 6:8. For some man is a friend for his own occasion, and will not abide in the day of thy trouble.
Yeah,
so they're looking for them kind of,
you know, and these people are gonna find out,
fake people.
right? Because when you know, when there's no food, right? Your best friend, you know, down the road or whatever the fuck it is, you know, he got food though. You go to him, knock on his door.
A lot of people have got friends that they're only rolling with them because they get something from them. A lot of people have got friends like that. They're with them because they're rolling with. There's something that they're getting out of that, man. They ain't really do nothing for you either. You know what I'm saying? Like, soon as you ain't got nothing, they're gonna be gone. They don't want to hear about you no more. And that's just how there's a lot of fake friends out there. You know, fake people,
love.
fake love.
Yep.
This is the book of Philippians, the 2nd chapter, verse 12. Wherefore, my beloved, as you have always obeyed, not in my presence only, but now much more in my absence, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. For it is Yahweh which worketh in you, both to will and to do of his good pleasure. Do all things without murmurings and disputings, that ye may be blameless and harmless, the sons of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, without rebuke in the midst of a crooked and perverse nation, among whom you shine as lights in the world.
Yep, that's right. That's right. And that's why we come out here in the winter, which the Lord blessed us. Because as far as I'm concerned, it's kind of warm. Yeah, it's like usually those men are out here suffering.
There's been harder winters.
Yeah, definitely.
We experienced, man.
So
definitely.
we come out in the winter
we
even when it's cold.
We can't even talk about hard winters, man. You see up in the
man,
States.
Alaska.
Yeah. We can't even talk in it, but you know, for here, you know, we've had harder winters.
But it's fucking cold. As far as I'm concerned, if I can't feel my fingers, it's cold. But fucking that's what we have to do. That's what the charge, the standard that was set by the apostles and elders was, according to the scriptures. You got to go out there and do this work, man, and be consistent. I'm not make a bag of excuses. And that's one thing that can be said, is that the apostles, they never made no excuses. And so we see that nobility, that leadership, and we don't make no fucking excuses. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, more time we are out there, like, most of us, we've hardly missed a camp in 10 years. Like, it's amazing. It's hardly ever. You know, brothers is usually out there, or if you miss a camp, we're coming out the next day. Do you know what I'm saying? We're very consistent with what we do because we believe in this thing, man. We believe in teaching this word, man. We come out, it's raining or whatever. If we're physically able to be out here, we'll be out here. Now, obviously, if it's like a flipping 2012, you know, the movie,
2012.
yeah, 2012 movie type shit going on, and there's triple tornadoes going on, and you know, we might be at home. But more time we're out here, man. And so that's a beautiful thing. Yep. Brothers from around the world. You got brothers, forget the cold. Some brothers live in places where it's hot like hell. You know what I mean? Literally. You know, brothers will be out there, man, and the trainers are melting under their feet and shit, you know? But you gotta be wise as well, you know. Obviously, you ain't gotta kill yourself. But the point is that we go out there, man, consistently, man.
Offer our body as a living sacrifice.
Offer our bodies a little sacrifice, man. We go out there and teach this word because we're commanded to, and it's paid dividend. It's paid dividend. The fact that you got so many people that's heard of the Hebrew Israelite, a lot of that is down to Great Millstone. Like, I remember, do you remember the year of the push?
Yeah.
Woo-wee! Listen, we were pushing that word out there like crack on the streets in the 80s, man. We like brothers be doing 4 or 5 videos a day, just pushing out, and it made an impact.
Definitely.
Not only did it put pressure on these other camps to do more, but trust me, our videos were out there all over YouTube, Dailymotion, Chinese websites. Just the algorithm couldn't keep up. Just pushing out this word, and same thing every year. We just keep pushing out. Like every brother's doing a video every day, 2 videos a day, pushing this information out, pushing out this word. And trust me, it pays. Spiritually, it pays, man. Because if it didn't, the Lord wouldn't have us do it. You know. So
my word should not go out void, man. So when we push the Most High's word out there, man, you can only do good. And
we've seen it, because when we was over there, yeah, man's going, oh, you the Israelite. Today, we've had like this woman here, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. She knew. How, you know, just random people. We have brothers that be out there on the street, and you know, people will randomly come up to you and go, oh, I know you. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yeah, you know. What's up?
You know, people sharing videos and, you know, WhatsApp or whatever.
I know
going around, you know.
The brothers in LA, a guy I work with, I accidentally sent him a video here, right? I think I accidentally posted a video in some group I was in, yeah. I deleted it anyway. But then he saw the video and he said, yo, what was that thing you posted? Yeah, but you know what? Because I went to LA, yeah, and I saw guys like that when I was in LA. So he saw the brothers, you know, it could have been the Northern Kingdom camp or the Southern Kingdom camp. You know, they got 2 camps over there. One speaking the Espanol. We got brothers that's, you know, we got people that's the only language they speak, Espanol, right? And then, but he said he saw them. He's like, yeah, I saw them. Man, look, this word is out there, man. To the point where Esau got to start trying to get some of his Boule members to try and, you know, maybe flip over and try and control the thing. That's what you see, man, talking about the 12 tribes of Judah. Who is it that said that? Kanye. Imagine, Kanye, listen, please don't talk about the Israelites. Talk about Islam, please don't do that. We don't want you anywhere near this thing because you're just going to discredit.
Mash it up.
Yeah, we don't want you Boule to the core, man. We don't want you talking about. Let us do the talking, yeah.
Yeah. Just keep quiet and learn.
You just rap, because you're a hypocrite, man. You don't even know which way you want to go.
You know, it's gonna be blonde one day, you know, green hair the next day. You never know, but, you know. I was trying to grab this quickly.
One day he's making a song about you're such a fucking whore and I love it, and then the next day he's doing gospel music. Oh man.
It's Matthew 24 verse 14. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness. Like brother mentioned, man, seeing the prophets out there, seeing the men of the Lord out there teaching is part of the signs.
Yep.
You know? That says preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, because we're brothers in all the nations, man. You know, doing the thing, popping up, all these characters popping up everywhere. This word has reached that far. You know? So, and then shall the end come. Right, so we know this is part of the end time signs, that the prophets have risen up to teach this truth, man. You know, to declare the end of this world, to declare the return of our Lord Yahweh Shai, right, to declare the salvation of Israel. These are all part of the end time signs, man.
Revelation 7, seal the servants in their foreheads before the destruction.
Yep.
And listen, man, it's that whole thing with Russia and Ukraine, and that is looking hella juicy, man.
Powder keggy.
You looking powder keggish, isn't it?
Yeah, Boris tried to come out and threaten Putin, but he was stumbling. Boris? Yeah, he was stumbling.
Boris, giving a really naked chop the fuck
that
out.
bumbling idiot, like, how the fuck you gonna have that be the chief of your army, like? That's a violation. You better off with fucking Theresa May, man.
Bigger balls than Boris, man.
Might be for real. The way she looked, man. Might as well.
No joy. No joy. Anyway.
Ugly.
Revelations chapter 7 verse 1 says, and after these things I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor any tree. Right, and this wind represents the destruction, the judgment that's about to come upon this place. Right, it's being held back until the servants are sealed. Right.
Yeah, because when them missiles hit America, the elect has to be sealed in order to be delivered, because none of them are going to be destroyed.
But what does the scripture say as well? Once the arrows are shot, they should not return back. So they got to be sealed before they get shot. You know, so, you know. So that's verse 2. And I saw that another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living power, and he cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels, to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea, saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our power in their foreheads. You read on, yeah? Going into the thousands?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah?
You can.
And I heard the number of them which were sealed, and they were sealed, right? And notice you're not going to hear about any other nations here.
I wonder why.
You know? And if race is not important, why bother mention this? Why bother have this in the book of Revelation?
That's not fair. First of all, that's not fair. I thought everything was about being fair. Why is it 12,000? Not even 12,000 from Israel, 12,000 from Moab. No, it's actually not even that, blend.
No,
it's 12,000 from each tribe of Israel. Now that's not fair, innit? Vocab got to break it down. How is that fair? How is that fair? That's the 444,000, the leaders.
And if you could be spiritual Israel, there's no need for the tribes.
Yeah, that's it.
There's no point to make the purpose of being 12,000 from each tribe. There's no purpose to that otherwise. So we know this is all talking about the nation of Israel.
And then it's not saying only 12,000 of Judah is going to be saved, because there's more than 12,000 believers back in Paul's day. We know that because there were times when there were like 3,000-4,000 people joining up. Yeah. So how you explain that?
That's right. So, and I heard the number of them which were sealed, and they were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel.
That's the government, man. That's the mountain. Yeah. That's the heads, the nobility, the chief ones. 12,000 from each tribe, man. That's how it's going to be going down.
So Of the tribe of Judah was sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Reuben was sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Gad was sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Asher was sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Naphtali was sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Manasseh was sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Simeon was sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Levi was sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Issachar was sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Zabulon was sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Joseph was sealed 12,000, which represents Ephraim. Right? Of the tribe of Benjamin was sealed 12,000. That's the 144,000 right there. I didn't see no other nations in that book right there. You know? And like I said, these are all mentioned because they have purpose. And most times doesn't say it. These are actually going to come from the tribes. Physically from the seed, you know?
Yep. The nobles that the Lord said he would set up nobles, man.
Yep. And I know, you know, these Christians like to jump on the next verse 9, when it talks about, you know, the great multitude.
We'll jump on it.
These Christians, they like to jump on it. That's for everyone. But you don't understand the context of what's being spoken about.
But even if it's for everyone, then why is there only 12,000 from each then? Why wasn't it 12,000 from everyone?
From everybody.
If it's all inclusive. That's not fair, is it? Nah, because the multitude that is going to talk about here, there still are the rest of the Israelites that scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, man. And they were unrecognizable because they were coming out of these different cultures. They were speaking different languages and dressed differently. But they were still scattered. Israelites because we were scattered among these nations. Yep. And that's the reality of our people. We've adopted the customs of all the nations that we've been scattered among.
Yep.
Like if you got a Jake living in China, dwelling among the Chinese for a couple thousand years, what do you think he's wearing? What do you think he look like? What do you think he speak like?
Yep.
You know, he's going to be unrecognizable to his forefathers.
Man speaking Cantonese or Mandarin or whatever. You know,
correct actual mobiles in their language.
All of that, you know, he probably knows English as well because they make him learn English as well. But you know, they would have grown up in those customs though. You know, eating squid and all that kind of shit.
Squidward.
You know, eating all them abominations they go over there.
All 8 legs.
Yeah.
Go on, keep going.
Yeah. Verse 9 says, after this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude which no man could number, of all nations. Right? This is where they want to jump in and say, oh yeah, but the see. No.
Nah, you got to read the entire
have understanding. Yeah, have understanding, man. Right? Of all nations and kindreds and peoples and tongues. Okay, because we was in all nations, having all different tongues. You know.
Well, it tells you in Revelation 5 that these are who the Lord have brought out of the nations.
You got that? Yeah.
No, not that, but just real quick. Acts, the 2nd chapter and the 5th verse. And they were dwelling at Jerusalem, Jews, devout men out of every nation under heaven.
So they were in these other nations. You think they were speaking other tongues too? Of course, because they mentioned it. Because every man started speaking in the spirit, all these, you know, these different languages that these men shouldn't even know. You know, these Galileans, right?
Even says, it says verse 7, and they were all amazed and marveled, saying, behold, are not all these men which speak Galileans? And how hear we every man in our own tongue wherein we were born?
Right, so doesn't this fit the bill?
Tongue where we were born, because they were born into them tongues, born in them different lands,
That's right.
So that's why I'm speaking English. If we went back in a time machine to your very lineage and start like the way we are now, the way we're dressed with the Nikes on and the fucking and the man would be like, who's this guy? Who's this dog?
We're speaking English, but that's foreign, bro.
Man would be dodging spears like fucking like Jonathan, bro.
But what isn't not what we're reading, what fits the bill in here, Revelations. It fits the bill.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, you probably get a precept.
It's the book of Tobit. Oh, even now, like, listen, there's certain like, even my woman's family in Wales, there's crackers, man. Just straight up, listen, man. When she goes to family functions over in Wales, it's crackers. But that's because they're like 2nd and 3rd generation. Their granddad, so-called black man.
Yeah, it's been diluted, man.
So she'll be there, and you think she's talking to a straight up white person, but this person is really a Jake.
Yeah.
They only look like that because the seed is intermingled among the so-called Welsh. But the lineage by father's line go back to a black blickety black. So if you didn't know each other, they would definitely pass each other on the street and be like, I don't know.
You're not like me.
Like my daughter, my daughter's cousin looks light as fuck. you wouldn't know that they were family, but they're close family. Because you know, Jake, you're dealing with them white women, man. And so, how much more say if you've been if you went like even 3, 4, 5 generations, you wouldn't even know that them, man. You know what I'm saying? It'd be far removed.
Yeah.
Because a lot of them get, you know, with Edomite women as well, and then it just get.
Realistically, it doesn't take long.
Doesn't take long, man.
Couple of generations is there.
Yeah, and you're already intermingled. And
but we're talking about hundreds of thousands of years, man. That this has been going on for.
Not hundreds of thousands.
No,
Yeah, brother, man, we try to
hundreds and thousands of years. Hundreds of.
I was like, you know, man. You know the alarm bells went up there, man.
Don't do me like that. You know, it's been going on a long time, man, right? It's been going on a long time, man. So perception of identity is gone.
Yeah.
You know, we don't relate us or recognize ourselves going back to certain men and certain tribes and that kind of stuff. We don't recognize that.
You don't look like your forefathers anymore.
That's right. Okay, you the precept in it, yep.
This is the book of Tobit 13:3. Confess him before the Gentiles, ye children of Israel, for he has scattered us among them.
That's plain and to the point.
Yep.
That's why you got to go precept upon precept. You have to have understanding, man.
Yep. Back in Revelation 7 verse 9 it says, after this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude which no man could number, of all nations and kindreds and people and tongues, stood before the throne, before the Lamb, clothed with white robes and palms in their hands, and cried with a loud voice, saying,
Isn't the white robes, Salaki, isn't the white robes the righteousness of the saints? And the saints are the Israelites, right?
Yep.
So,
Yep, 100%.
Done.
It says, and cried with a loud voice, saying, salvation to our power, which sitteth upon the throne, and unto the Lamb. And all of the angels stood around about the throne, and about the elders and the 4 beasts, and fell before the throne on their faces and worshipped Most High, saying, Amen. Blessing and glory and wisdom and thanksgiving and honor and power and might be unto our power forever and ever. Amen. And one of the elders answered, saying unto me, what are these which are arrayed in white robes, and whence came they? And I said unto him, Sir, thou knowest. And he said unto me, these are they which came out of great tribulation, and have washed their robes and made them white in the blood of the Lamb. Okay, and you know, again, that covenant that's been established by blood.
And who is the blood of the Lamb for? The Israelites. The Lord, because he's the Passover.
That's right.
And the Passover can only be, only Israelites can partake in the Passover, man.
Yep. So therefore are they before the throne of the Most High, and serve him day and night in his temple. And he that sitteth on the throne shall dwell among them. They shall hunger no more, neither thirst any more, neither shall the sun light on them, nor any heat. For the Lamb which is in the midst of the throne shall feed them, and shall lead them unto living fountains of waters, and the Most High shall wipe away all their tears from their eyes.
So that precepts in with, hold on, so that precepts in with Revelations 21:3. Let's get that. See if it breaks it down who these people are even more
precise.
So we get, okay, start from 1. So who are these people? It's going to tell you.
Revelation 21 verse 1.
Isaiah 11:11 as well, of course.
And I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea. And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem.
It's Jerusalem. That 144,000 and the multitude represents New Jerusalem. Go on.
Coming down from the Most High out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. And I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, Behold, the tabernacle of God is with men, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people, and the Most High himself shall be with them and be their power.
That's the seed of Abraham. That's the seed of Abraham.
Yep.
So it's Jerusalem, it's the seed of Abraham, it's the Israelites, it's the saints. Yeah.
And God shall wipe away all their tears.
See? That's what it said when we just read it, yeah?
Yep. From their eyes, and there shall be no more death. Why? Because we're going to become immortal. We're going to be made incorruptible. You know? Neither sorrow nor crying, because we're going to be continuously blessed. Right? Neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away.
There you go. And then just to confirm it,
confirmation.
You got sign as well, yeah?
I got quick anything. Yeah, about majesty. It's a book of Micah 2:12. I will surely assemble all Jacob O of thee, I will surely gather the remnant of Israel. I will put them together as sheep of Bozrah, as a flock in the midst of their fold. They shall make great noise by reason of the multitude of men.
All right, so what's the Lord doing? The Lord is gathering the remnant of Israel. That's who he's gathering out of all these nations. You know? Surely, he said. That's the plan. That's the idea. You know, that the Israelites shall be delivered and gathered up. Right? Yep. You know, thanks.
This is the book of Isaiah 11 and the start from 10. And in that day there shall be a lute of Jesse, which shall stand for an ensign of the people.
Right, the sign, which is this word, this gospel. It's like we're holding up a sign. You know, when a man's at an airport, you come out the airport and you have a brother there and he's got the sign with your name on it. The sign is there so that you know, okay, that's my driver. Yeah, right there, sir, because he's got my name on it. But that's what this gospel is. That's why we make it clear who it's for. And we hold it up. This word, the spirit that we push out there is a sign unto what? Unto the remnant of his people. Yeah. That they can see it. Like a light unto the Gentiles. It's a light for our people to come to.
To come back to, yeah.
To come back to, yeah. Not for the other nations, because they ain't a part of this, man.
Because our people are Gentiles, man. They're out there.
But the word Gentiles means foreign. We are in a foreign land.
We've all been there. We are foreign.
We're in a foreign land now.
You know, but it's like a beacon, and it's calling them back. You know, from wherever they are.
To it shall Gentiles seek, and his lest shall be glorious.
Right. It says to it shall the Gentiles seek. Now it's going to break down who those Gentiles are if you just keep reading. Read on.
And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people.
So who are the Gentiles that's going to see onto that sign? The remnant of his people. So that's the Israelites that scattered among the Gentiles.
Yeah. Go on. Which shall be left from Assyria and from Egypt and from Patros.
Right, so even in Egypt today, you're going to have Israelites scattered among them over there. Yep. In Egypt today. Go on.
And from Cush and from Elam.
Ethiopia. Down there in Ethiopia, you're going to have, in fact, you got Benjamin that actually left Jamaica, some goofy guys, man, to go over there to live there.
Why? We don't know yet.
Don't know why, but they definitely got Israelites over there in Ethiopia. Go on.
And from Elam, and from Shinar, and from Amath, and from the island of the sea.
Which we're on them islands. Britain would be representative of an island on the sea. Malta, you know, there's Jake scattered among them Polynesians and so forth. Hawaii, and there's Jake scattered everywhere. Australia, there's gonna be Jake scattered in Australia. You know, Philippines, Papua New Guinea, Madagascar, Mauritius, you know, Cape Verde, you done know already. Right? The Caribbean, there's Jake scattered among all the different peoples, man.
That's crazy.
And he shall set up an ensign for the nations, and he shall assemble the outcasts of Israel and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth.
Right, gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth. Yeah, that's that multitude.
The envy also of Ephraim shall depart, and the adversary of Judah shall be cut off.
So the northern and southern kingdom are going to come back together in harmony with under Yahweh Shai. Right, that's what's going to, and that's happening nowhere but in the camps. That you ain't finding that nowhere, but they can say black and brown unite. First of all, the Black Panthers was another Boule organization set up by a bunch of counterintelligence, COINTELPRO, Masonic Boule members, like Tupac's mother, so alleged mother. Yeah, these were all agents, and the Black Panthers weren't going to do nothing for you. Yeah,
Well, I was gonna say this as well, like, you know, because this is why, you know, the mainstream and, you know, these clowns out there, they like to focus on the black Hebrew Israelite narrative, but that's not strictly true.
No.
Because what about the Issacharites, you know? What about you know the white Jake we put out there, you know?
Puerto Ricans, they're not considered black.
Exactly.
There's a lot of tribes on the list that are not considered to be black in the mainstream. So actually, when you really break it down, there's more tribes that's not considered to be black than there are tribes that are considered. Because really, only about 3 of the tribes are considered to be black. So that leaves another 9 tribes that are. So if anything, we're the light-skinned Hebrew Israelites. the caramel Israelites. Yeah, I mean, sweet, you know. Yeah, that if you want to say anything, the brown skin, you know, the browning Israelites, man.
Because I know this word, what's the word, man? You know, closes the breaches, you know, between all the tribes, man. You know, like I said, it's not going on anywhere else, man, except for, you know, in this truth here.
This is the only thing that identifies us as family, real family.
Yep.
Yeah, real roots.
Ephraim shall not envy Judah, and Judah shall not vex Ephraim.
There you go. So that's the breakdown of that multitude that he saw. They're talking about the Israelites. Those are saints that are going to be delivered, man. That's talking about New Jerusalem, the 144,000 and the rest of the elect that are going to be delivered. That's that multitude, the first fruits. You know, that's going to be the beginning of the kingdom of heaven right there. And we're at that time where that number is going to be fulfilled, man. You know. So you got anything else? Please stop on that.
Matthew the 25th chapter, verse 31. When the Son of Man shall come in his glory and all the holy angels with him, then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory. And before him shall be gathered all nations, and he shall separate them one from another, as the shepherd divideth his sheep from the goats. And he shall set his sheep on his right hand, but the goats on the left. Then shall the king say unto them on his right hand, Come ye, blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. Well, quickly said, verse.
But who was that promise given to?
The Israelites, the sheep of the elect.
Yeah, Jacob and his seed. You know, all nations shall bow unto thee. That's his kingdom, right? Yeah. There you go.
Goats are them wicked ones, man. Go on,
that's when you point and it goes into you. I was hungry and you fed me.
So, man, you got something else? Okay, bring it.
It's the book of Ezekiel 34 and 11. For thus said the Lord power, behold, I, even I, will both search my sheep and seek them out. As the shepherd seeketh out his flock in the day that he is among his sheep that are scattered. So will I seek out my sheep, and will deliver them out of all places where they have been scattered in the crowd and dark day.
The lost, I am sent not, but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Other sheep I have, which is not of this fold, but them other sheep are still Israelites, man. This is gotta read the scriptures, man. You know, so that's why we're gonna continue. We don't care what nobody got to say. We're gonna continue to teach the truth. That salvation is of Yahweh Shai, and that salvation is only for the seed of Israel, specifically the elect of the seed of Israel. And we don't care what anybody got to say. That's the gospel, that's the good news, that's what's in the good book, and that's what we're gonna teach. We ain't taking no money for it. We ain't taking no threats, no check. Yeah? We're gonna keep teaching that, man. But that's what it is, that's the truth.
That's right, that's right.
So yeah, with that, you know, we're gonna close up. They say Kal Halal Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh. And double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone, and shalom to all you brothers out there teaching, you know, and all the elders, and shalom to you brothers and sisters listening and learning as well, and supporting the ministry. Shalom.
Shalom.